One. All right, welcome back, everyone, to The Horror Returns. I'm Lance. With me, as always, my co-hosts Philip and Brian, and we got Steve Carlton in the house, our Wunderkind, our artiste, the guy, the man of 1,000 T-shirts. What's going on, Steve?
Not quite 1,000 yet, but getting there. What's up, fellas? How's it going?
What's up?
Good.
Thank you for having me back. Thank you.
Yeah, we're just rocking behind the rose, man.
I'm happy that we're not doing a Children of the Corn movie tonight. That's
no.
I was gonna say
not yet.
It's nice
Those
for
are coming.
That's on the schedule, though. I'm sure
movies.
somewhere.
All right, so what's going on with the Geeks, man? I'm 2 or 3 or 4 weeks behind because you know how you guys put them all up like at once.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's because we've been really focusing on the YouTube stuff, so we've been kind of dropping the ball and releasing the audio versions, and I'm just gonna blame Lil, but he's got a lot on his plate. The man's dealing with a lot from work and college and all that, so it's tough. We're not getting paid for this, it comes out when it comes out.
There you go.
And but we've been doing some cool stuff, like we did this superhero draft a few weeks ago. That was a lot of fun.
That I heard.
That was a lot of fun. We actually got some listeners wanted I created these new logos. We created these teams. There was 5 of us. We all had different teams and different logos, and we did a whole draft of a bunch of superheroes to make our teams. And I had some listeners reach out that were interested in getting T-shirts and stuff of the logos that I made. But so I went through and actually redid all the logos and made them way better and added a whole bunch more detail and cool stuff and put those all on TeePublic, and theirs have actually been kind of taken off a little bit, so that's been fun.
Nice.
And then we've just been doing the 31 Days of Horror. We've been cramming horror movies, just watching a lot of stuff, so knocking those out.
Nothing wrong with that. So what possessed you to pick Morph as your number 1 draft pick?
I panicked. All my first draft picks were gone. I wasn't expecting to get the last pick, man. It fucked me up.
Yeah.
I panicked.
Who would you have taken?
Dr. Manhattan, of course. He was my first pick.
All
and
right.
pick 5 in front of me pick 4 picked Dr. Manhattan, which really screwed the whole thing up. But Morph was like my dark horse because he could be anybody. It's like, I see your Dr. Manhattan and I raise you. Morph who could be, but it's like not a full everybody, right? Like,
yes.
It's like a mimic version. So I panicked. My team ended up all right, but I don't have the strongest team.
It is what it is, man. Yeah, it's a lot of fun listening to it. So you guys have anything else coming up besides the regular show? Like House of the Dragon tie-ins or anything like that?
Yeah, we started the House of the Geekz shows. We put one up, had some difficulty with one of them getting deleted before it was released. So we're in the process of working on that. We're going to be doing all of the Night of the 7 Kingdoms when that drops. We're going to be doing those. That's a lot of fun. And Phil, did you watch House of the Dragon this season?
Yeah, I was going to ask you what you thought about it.
A tease. What a tease. This whole damn season. What a tease. A lot of talking. A lot of building up. Not a lot of doing.
Not that it was bad, but like it was just that final episode that was like, it was like, oh, nothing happened.
I know, I said it as it was happening. I was like, fuck. My wife's like, what? I'm like, the music's going. We're going through the montage. All this is going to be just in time for the credits. I'm like, look at the run time. We ain't doing shit.
Exactly.
So screwed up. But there's a couple of cool scenes. Like the dragon fight was one of the best moments of television I've ever seen. And then there was a really great moment where this little kid kind of gets to dress down Damon in front of all these rivermen and make him kill his buddy. And it was like the best scene in the whole world because there's like this old guy, Storm, who's like standing there off to the side. He's just like, fuck. He's like so scared that something bad's going to happen. Just classic stuff. So I really like that. So we're definitely going to be, that's going to be 4 seasons, they said, for House of the Dragon.
Okay. Makes sense.
But I'm like, we better get to some stuff though. Like how, like, sure. Because her section like kind of goes way past into like leads into her grandson. So like, are we going that far in the show?
Well,
like, I don't.
Because right now all her I guess the oldest kid is kind of an adult almost.
Right.
I guess we can't spoil stuff.
Yeah.
when you know the stories or know what they're supposed to be.
Philip had the same takeaway as you. I think was that your Cool of the Week last week, Phil? or I think
Yeah,
it was.
I finally had caught up to it a couple of weeks ago, and that
His
was
last
sort
name
of my
was
thing.
Firewatch. I
I was like,
remember.
man, it was pretty good, but like, boy, that last episode was like, wait a minute, it's over? That's not how cliffhangers are supposed to work. Like you're
No.
supposed to get to the thing first.
At least get to something, right?
Yeah.
I spent a lot of the season watching Damon have
Well.
like hallucinations in his hotel room. So it's like,
Oh, that's
Yeah.
right. That's
Yeah,
right.
yeah,
Lots of
yeah.
that.
Heron Hall, it's haunted, right?
Yeah. It's good though. So that was fun. And then yeah, we have doing the superhero draft. We figured out a lot of things we want to do differently. So we have a super villain draft that's going to be coming,
Oh,
and
nice.
we're going to be doing things a lot differently. We're actually going to have a host, so that OL doesn't have to do double duty, and like we're going to do a whole bunch of different stuff. So
Okay.
that's going to be a lot of fun.
Very nice. Well, what's your cool of the week, man?
Well, in watching movies for 31 Days of Horror, I just picked one on a whim, and it ended up being awesome, like so much fun. I don't know if you guys have reviewed it or watched it yet, but it's called Low Lives. This is a Tubi original.
I keep
Sure.
hearing about this.
It sounds
This
familiar.
movie is amazing. It is so good. It has a plot twist that it drops on you
Okay.
like 15 minutes into the movie, where you're like, what the fuck? Now what are we doing? And then it just goes. And it's so much fun. And I would beg you to watch the trailer after watching the movie, because it's
Okay.
amazing what they did with the trailer. They well, like it's only makes sense if you watch the trailer. Like when me and Lil reviewed it, he was sitting at like a high sidekick, but he really liked it. But then we watched the trailer and it pushed him to a hero, because he's like,
No kidding.
it's amazing just what they were able to do. It's Tubi original. It's acted incredibly well. It's a big spin on like almost like Texas Chainsaw Massacre kind of like group mixed with like some backwoods family kind of vibe. But there's a twist, and it's just a lot of fun. It was one of the best horror movies I've seen in a long time.
And it was a Tubi original.
Tubi
Imagine
original.
that.
Tubi's fucking killing it. All right, Tubi
Right.
rules. Even Amazon Prime has commercials now. Fucking Tubi rules.
Yes. Yes.
It looks pretty good. I put it on the list.
I am putting it on my list right now. I've heard good
It
things.
is really, really
Low
good.
lives. All right. Brian, what you got, man?
I got 3 movies I checked out in the past week. I'm gonna start with Steve. I checked out 2 werewolf movies.
Were any of them good? That's what I want to know.
One was not good.
Mm.
One was slightly better. That's the best I could say for the second
It's
one.
not
Maybe,
it's not a strong. It's a strong genre. Like if it's.
Are they
I mean,
both new?
Yeah. The first one is a cocaine werewolf.
Oh wow.
That should tell you everything you should know about the movie.
Can't go wrong with that.
The budget
Yeah.
completely did not go to the werewolf.
So was he like
Because,
like
went to the
like a
cocaine.
spirit Halloween?
Did go
Werewolf.
to the other thing.
You must have seen this movie.
Oh,
It didn't even look like a werewolf. It kind of looked like they got a
no.
gorilla suit. So
oh, man.
don't check out Cocaine Werewolf.
I
I
won't.
thought it was gonna be like batshit crazy,
Well, yeah, you would
werewolf
think.
on cocaine, but
Mhm.
no.
See, that could be us. We could be making cocaine werewolf right now.
Could we?
And it's
We're
and
just
it's
making
almost like
cocaine.
they asked their actor friends if they had friends that couldn't act to be in the
Yes.
movie.
Were there at least some titties in it?
Yeah, but they weren't
Aw,
the
some
best.
poor girl out there dropped a couple of notches on her dignity for cocaine werewolf. That's great.
They hired a stripper and the mailman.
And put him
then
in a gorilla suit.
The second werewolf movie stars Jon Snow himself, Kit Harington.
Okay, I've
okay.
been interested in this one. The trailers were interesting, so I'm interested.
But
in
he
what you say.
is in a really shitty mobile video game commercial right now that's
Oh, no.
extremely long.
Oh, no.
Well, he was also in Eternals, which was also bad.
Which is
like,
What-
extremely long.
Was
What
he
are you
really in
doing?
Eternals?
Ish.
He kind of popped in there. He was the cuck. in
And
Eternals.
Blade's voice.
He had a day of work for Eternals.
Right.
The movie I seen him in was called The Beast Within.
Okay.
Steve, you probably won't like this one.
Ah,
It's more of a drama.
Hmm.
but is there a werewolf in it?
Yeah, one that you. Okay, slight spoilers. The transformation is god awful. When you
Oh.
what you can see of it is very CGI.
Is
Which
it
is
worse
very-
than? Is it
it's
worse
very-
than like Bad Moon?
Oh no.
I gotta
'Cause
rewatch Bad Moon.
Bad Moon has a really bad. It's like it's like the old '90s
Right.
videos where like you just morph something into something else.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Ouch. Ouch.
Which the transformation looks super cheap, which I can't say that for the rest of the movie. The movie looks good. It looks well directed, well acted. It's just when you get to see you don't get to see the full transformation. When you do get to see some of it, it just looks bad. And when he's in full werewolf form,
Right.
it's I felt like they used the shadows and the darkness
Uh-oh.
to not let you see him as well.
Right.
You know, that used to be the mark of a good filmmaker, but at this point.
Now it's the mark of a low budget.
64-bit werewolf, Brian?
No, it just like I said, it looked good. It was like the scenes like he was a werewolf. It conveniently would be at
Right.
nighttime because
Ah,
of the full
okay.
moon. It just looked too dark to even see anything.
Gotcha.
So I can't recommend this one either.
Uh-oh.
Damn it. I guess
Ouch.
then my last hope for a good werewolf entertainment is going to be when Frank Grillo drops that dope ass movie he's making.
Oh,
Where like the
something
whole
titled-
world turns to fucking
Yeah, the whole
werewolves
world.
and
I
they
heard
all
about
like
that.
a billion
Yeah, this-
people get killed.
They say it's
Oh.
the Purge, but with werewolves.
Yes, I want
I have
that.
not seen the preview
I've
for
heard of
that.
Dude, it's like a supermoon happens and anybody who goes out in it turns into a werewolf and like a billion people die. And then this is like a year later when it's about to happen again.
Well, I don't understand how that makes sense.
I don't either, but it sounds fucking sweet.
Sounds great, though, right?
Yeah. Why not?
But my cool of the week will have to go to. I think it's on Screenbox. It's a new zombie comedy called We Are Zombies.
We are zombies. Okay.
Yeah. I like the world building they set because the zombies in this world don't want to eat you. They
What?
just simply are there,
Just hanging around, huh?
which causes like issues within the world because certain jobs they're taking certain jobs because they don't need to sleep or eat or anything, and
That's
there's like
weird.
groups that are
That's fucking
against
stupid, man.
against the
We have to have zombie rights.
and,
Boy.
and it's offensive to call them zombies. You have to call them the living impaired.
Sounds
Right.
like political satire, big time, right?
Yeah.
The living impaired.
That's kind of sounds fantastic.
So I like
No,
I
now
like
I'm
the
gonna
world.
see it.
I like the world building they did with all that, and then the premise is there's like a company, like if you got a family member that lives with you that's a zombie, if you don't want to have them around anymore, you call this company and you sign them the rights away,
Oh,
and they take
just like
take the
just like Canada.
I thought you were gonna say they could go on disability. You can get like the check or something every month, right?
No,
you know
it's
I don't know if
it-
they even got a check. I think you just
compassionate
simply
suicide.
Just kind of got rid of the problem, huh?
yeah, like you see one scene like they're calling this company and
Uh-huh.
he's ready for his father-in-law to go.
Okay.
Hey man, this guy was already dead and he's still hanging around. I
Right.
need
How
you
do
to
I
get rid of him.
Lots of practical
Christ.
effects. It was done by the
Okay.
same team that you guys ever seen Turbo Kid?
Yes,
Yes.
absolutely.
I love Turbo Kid.
That's a great movie.
Same directing team.
Huh. This has promise, Philip.
Yeah.
Does it
You gotta
have as
check
good of a
this out.
soundtrack as Turbo Kid?
No.
Oh, I mean that's a high bar though. Turbo Kid has a
True.
really good
And I say this because if you brought up the soundtrack to Turbo Kid, I could tell you hell yeah that had an awesome soundtrack. But this movie I don't even remember the soundtrack.
Well,
But it's still
was
it's
it
my
the
cool of the
Grateful
week.
Dead?
No.
Sorry.
I
That would work.
don't know where to go from there.
All right.
It took me a second. It clicked. Oh man.
Come on, Philip, save us.
I don't know what the coolest thing I've watched this week. I went back into and watched the original Alien, so that was probably
That's a
my
good one.
coolest for sure.
Okay.
Dude, aside from that, I've been working my ass off, so that's all I got.
That's the
But
hot
I
of the
was-
week, dude.
I was trying to get some context on this new movie, and I'm gonna have questions, so we'll get to that point.
Okay,
Well, it's good.
cool. Cool.
If you watched Alien, then Aliens, then you're
Yeah.
right in the mix.
There you go.
For sure. That's kind of like the trilogy now, right?
Could be.
The only
I mean,
ones that really matter.
Well, we'll get to it when we get to the spoilers, but
Yeah.
like,
Yeah, they referenced. I felt like they referenced another movie that I wasn't expecting them to reference.
Felt that way, didn't it?
well, I wasn't mad at that, but we'll
Sure.
get there.
Sure. So is that it, Phil? Just
Yeah,
Alien then?
I think that's about all I got. We took the kids to go see Deadpool 3. So
okay.
yeah, because it was like there's nothing like too majorly bad in that one, and we took them and they enjoyed it. So
Yeah.
I
sure it's,
love seeing
I'm sure
it.
it's no jokes they haven't heard from you at home, Philip.
Yeah, exactly. I did just as
So
awesome the
good.
second time around. Even picked up on a few more little Easter eggs and stuff.
Okay.
So it was a great movie. I loved it.
There's so many moments like in the background that you just
Yeah.
catch on repeat viewing, and they play so many clips now, like on social media and stuff. And like
Yeah,
There's
they're
one
playing
right
the,
before-
the Gambit one.
the Gambit,
Over
I
and
can't
over.
believe he's taken off as much as he has. It's really good.
Because
But
that shit was hilarious.
he's perfect. The cowl
Yes.
looks a little funny, right? That was what I always said. I was like, I don't think the cowl would look right on his face, and you know what? It didn't. But like
Didn't.
a little tweaking, and you can make that work.
But he's been the guy forever, which is
He was
why he
perfect.
was like, I don't think I ever existed.
I know. He's like, I think I was born here.
Yeah. I think I was
They're
born
like,
here,
we all got to get back to the people that love us, and he's like, or that never met us. So many good lines. There's one where
Yeah.
like Chris Evans is about to like flame on,
Who's
Uh,
your dialect coach? The
and-
Minions?
and Deadpool turns around and Wolverine's standing there. He's got all the swords sticking out of him, and he's like, "Oh, he's gonna say it." And he smacks one of the swords and like starts whamming around, and he's like, "Ah, fuck!" it's just some random background thing. It's
Yeah.
just so perfect.
Yeah.
And it was
that's
like,
good
what?
stuff.
We have to make you look presentable, and pulls them all out. It's great. It's a fantastic movie, man. I don't know why people are shitting on that one.
I don't know
Well-
anybody who is, man. Some people
Well,
are
there-
shitting on it.
It's well, I mean, the only real gripe is that there's not really a story
Yeah,
there.
fair enough.
There's not really
Well,
much of
Kind of
a.
is.
That's one of those where the
Lot.
critic score is like which is a little less discrepancy than normal, but it's like an 83 or something on the critic score and like a
Which is good.
96 on the
Right.
audience score. So I guess I get that.
I guess.
I've seen it 3 times, twice in the theater, and it's like I can see the issues, but I love it unabashedly. Anyways, it's
Yeah.
perfect, just how it is.
Doesn't
Damn it,
wear out
damn-
as well.
What's that? What's the prayer? Like a prayer? That shit
Yes.
is like that song. It's
Great
getting
scene.
a lot of play.
It is a good song.
And the cowl. Come on, the cowl looks so good.
Yes, that's what I was gonna say. I'm a Wolverine fanboy, so that popped up, and I was like, yeah.
Very good.
Yeah. and
Brian,
all
any other thoughts, Brian?
No, I watched it a second time. I still enjoy it.
I
Now
liked all
officially the
those-
highest grossing R-rated movie of all time.
No
Oh, look at
way.
that.
Joker
Wow.
2 is gonna try to take that back, but I don't want to see Joker 2.
That's
so-
not gonna happen.
That's gonna
I'm not
happen.
gonna lie. That trailer intrigued me.
It's a musical,
Yeah.
Brian.
But it's a musical, right?
I don't think
Yeah.
it's gonna be a full-on musical.
You don't
I
think
think
so?
the
If they
musical. I think the musical elements are gonna be all in his head.
I don't know, dude. They
Hmm.
kind of killed it with the first one, and it's gonna be really hard to capture that magic again, especially with the song and dance routine.
I think Lady Gaga
Literally.
looks great as Harley Quinn in the trailer.
Actually, yes. You're not wrong. I think she
It-
totally pulls that off.
I'll eat crow on it. If I would love to be wrong. I would love for it just to be an awesome movie.
Yeah.
Regardless. So,
We know you're going to see it, Steve.
well, of
So,
course, I have to see it.
Kinda
see everything,
doesn't
even the
matter,
things
right?
I don't want to see. I see. Except I still haven't seen Aquaman 2. I tried. Got about 10 minutes in and I turned it
that's
off.
tough. That's a tough one. That doesn't really
I couldn't
count.
do
That
it.
doesn't really count.
When he was doing donuts on the beach and he's like mugging for the camera, I'm like, I don't need this.
I think I did the same thing. Like I
Uh-huh.
don't think I ever finished Aquaman 2, but I started it.
I finished it. They
yeah.
completely didn't know what tone they were going.
Oh no.
Jason Momoa was in a completely different movie
Right.
than everybody else.
Well, he was that way in the Fast and the Furious movie too, wasn't he?
Well, he was supposed
awesome
to be.
in that.
But that worked.
Fast X
Right.
ruled. I
His
didn't like
character,
Fast 9. But Fast
Dante-
X was awesome.
His character Dante is probably one of the best things in a long time in the Fast and Furious.
100%.
I'd agree with that. Yeah,
He was
I'd
like
agree with
talking to
that.
those dead guys and painting their nails. That guy's
Yeah.
nuts.
That
And
was
I
weird.
loved how it's like they keep
This guy's a
adding
fucking
people to the
psycho.
backgrounds. Like, they're
Sure,
like, if you
sure.
actually looked to the left a little more, you would have seen Alan Richardson standing next to Jason Momoa.
Yes.
Yeah,
Shut
he
the
was
fuck
in.
up.
He was standing in that office.
How
the
do you
whole
miss
time.
those two giants? Like, you can't hide just
Yeah.
off to the side. I love it. So good.
Good point, man. Good point. Yeah, one thing I loved about Deadpool was all the classic X-Men covers and Deadpool covers. Fucking when I saw Wolverine on that cross with all the skulls, I was like, holy fucking shit!
That was awesome.
Somebody's doing something right, man. That was fan service done the
The
right
one
way.
that got me was the Age of Apocalypse one where he had the missing
that was a
hand,
good one. That was a
big
good
hair. Like
Yeah.
I still have books in my collection that
one.
have him on the cover in that Age of Apocalypse outfit.
I
Dang.
also like that they threw a little shine towards Patch. Like when he had
Yeah,
his suit on
true,
and the patch
true.
over his eye was
Oh
pretty
yeah.
badass.
Oh yeah.
I was like,
Hey,
all
Old
right.
Man Logan. Got old man
And
Logan
if they
in there.
if they need to recast Hugh Jackman, Cavalrine is a good
Well,
way to go. The way he
wasn't
pumped his
bad.
arms, like he did the Mission Impossible arm
Yep.
pump, and his claws
Yep.
came out,
Mhm.
that was tough. That
Yep.
shit was-
Sure.
That was I was thinking the exact same thing when it happened. I was like, oh, that's where he got that thing from Mission Impossible, and it works.
He's such a good guy though. Like he doesn't smoke, so like all that cigar like made him sick.
Oh no.
Yeah.
He got like physically sick on set.
Well,
But he was totally pulling off that character. I was like, oh wow, he could do this.
mhm.
No love for comic accurate as
No.
far as height Wolverine.
Oh, Short King
that
Wolverine?
was
No,
great. Yeah, that
because,
was great.
because that just lets everybody know why we
Yeah.
shouldn't do that.
I don't know
You
if
know?
that was quite comic accurate.
I don't think he was that short in the comics. He's like 5'6", not 5'1".
It was like Tyrion Lannister Wolverine.
Yeah,
Exactly.
the way he hopped down and
Little
how
Wolf.
light he sounded when he landed on the ground, it
Uh-huh,
wasn't like
that was
thud. It was like
hilarious, man. That was hilarious.
It was great.
good stuff.
All right. Well, great movie. Go see that one for sure.
see it.
Lance.
Oh man. Oh yeah. Okay. So let's go back to the political satire. This is political satire done right. I'm only like 3 episodes in, but TV show that I just think is getting better season after season after season, and this 4th season to me is just fucking spot on with what's going on. You know, like it makes fun of both sides, which is always fun. You know, the South Park guys do that really well, but it does make fun of one side a little bit more, Steve. You'd probably agree, but The Boys, season 4,
Oh, yeah.
fucking Homelander is fucking asshole, man. What a dick.
Season 4, I can't believe how it. Did you finish it?
No, I'm only 3 in. I'm only 3 in.
Oh, okay, okay. I was
got-
gonna say, I was like, I
I got
can't
a ways
believe-
to go, man. I
So,
got a
but
ways to go.
you got the guy with the pink eye then.
Yeah, the guy that was like butt munching himself, jacking off to Firecracker.
That was the best
Oh,
one.
I'm
Him,
not sure I
Frenchie, and Frenchie's
understand
like,
that, but I'm
get
just gonna
off me,
leave it
pink
alone.
eye.
Yeah, it's funny. Have you seen it yet, Philip? The
No.
4th season?
No, I haven't
Dude,
seen the
it's
new
fucking
season.
hilarious, man.
It's good. It's really good. They do some very interesting things with some of the characters. There's a scene where it's like or there's a whole episode where they go to like this farm.
Okay.
And it's where Vought has been experimenting on farm animals.
Oh no.
And there's like
Okay.
demon sheep like flying through the air and snatching people up. It's fucking crazy. Like the show definitely goes some crazy places. But like the one
Right.
complaint I had about it was like the whole season, it's like they just keep saying like we gotta do this thing. We gotta, and I'm just like, what are you talking about? Like everyone's really hectic to do a thing.
Okay.
They gotta go get the MacGuffin.
But what is the thing we're talking about? Like,
Right.
but they do some really cool stuff with some superpowers later on in the season with like chameleon like powers and stuff. It's very cool. So,
interesting. Kind of like Morph, so to speak, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
To bring that back. Yeah, I'm enjoying it, man.
But
I love
the boys
commentary.
like the boys always does it weird, right? Like it can't be Morph,
Right.
or he just like does it cool. Like this person has to do some fucking weird shit in order to change to be like that person, you know? And like
Sure.
they don't have Spider-Man in the boys. They got the Web Weaver, and like he does spider webs too, but like he can't do them out of his little web wrist, you know? They got to do some weird shit with him.
Yeah.
You know?
Okay. All right. Shoots him out of his dick or what?
Close, but
Just keep watching. Okay.
close, but
Well, they had a whole scene
opposite
in that
hemisphere.
last season where they climbed up somebody's butthole and
That's
blew up,
right.
So that was.
Never seen that before.
I think
man.
that was also the roundabout. I think they went in the front hole there. Yo, that show's crazy. And Gen V, like they tie in Gen V to this season pretty well.
Do they? I got to
Yep.
catch up on that. I never watched that one.
You
I
never
think
watched
I
Gen
will.
V?
I haven't seen it at all.
Oh, Gen V is great. Gen V is
All right.
awesome. You guys really should check out Gen V. I was surprised by it. It's really good.
Nice. All right. Well, that's cool of the week. Shit. What's next, Brian? Horror headlines?
Yep. Let's see. A little bit of TV news. Amazon is developing a Poltergeist series based on the franchise, and they have hired showrunners Kalinda Vasquez and Robbie Thompson.
Okay.
They have worked on shows such as Fear the Walking Dead and Supernatural.
Here we go. Here we go, Philip. More
Yeah.
Walking Dead action.
You guys interested in the Poltergeist series?
No.
Well,
Steve?
I mean, maybe it depends. I mean, I'll save my judgment for a trailer or something. But like, I went to the theater to see that damn Sam Rockwell movie, and they hosed me.
I
Then
know.
they got my money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know?
okay. Do you remember that movie well enough?
I remember it okay.
Because nobody can ever answer the question. There's a scene where Sam Rockwell's staring at the power lines or whatever,
Mhm.
Okay.
and then that goes nowhere in the movie.
So yeah, what's that? What's that all about?
I don't know.
That's kind of
You're
weird.
gonna have to add me
I
to
don't
the list
remember
of
it.
people. You got to add me to those people that can answer it. The problem is, I've watched it the one time in the theater and never really felt the urge to go back. I have not
Yeah. Same
Yeah.
seen
here.
it a second time. So
Well, which sucks because I love Sam Rockwell. Like
Exactly.
he is one of my
Wasted his
favorite
talent.
actors. But yeah, that
Oh,
one
he-
was awesome.
Was collecting a paycheck for that movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's see. Longlegs just passed $100 million in the worldwide box office.
Look
Huh.
out.
Okay.
All right, good. I'm proud of him.
I have yet to see that. I want to though, really badly.
Not bad. Not bad.
And comments on our Facebook page are saying Longlegs is a piece of shit and garbage.
Oh man,
Yeah. So they've said. So some people have said.
I like it.
Teach their own, right? Teach their
Yeah.
own.
Yeah, I thought you guys liked it. It's like, oh,
I like.
I'll
Yeah, we all
check
liked
out.
it.
I like Mike and
Let's-
Monroe a lot, and Nick Cage. So
Yeah, Nick Cage. He's in there. He's insane in it, but
Right.
it works.
What a shocker! What a shocker,
Yeah.
Philip.
Okay, I'm probably going to pronounce her name wrong. Mahala Harold joins the cast of the upcoming horror movie They Will Kill You, and this is produced by the
Okay.
Muschiettes,
Huh.
which you know Andy Muschietti from It and
Mm-hmm.
The
unfortunately
Flash.
The Flash. Yeah,
Hmm.
this
that's
is
not
part
his
of
fault.
this is part of their new label or production company called Nocturna, and it will
Hmm.
also star Lance, one of your favorites, Zazie Beetz.
Hmm. Okay. I'm in.
The guy Bobby Buschetti.
Have you guys ever seen the horror movie Spookies from the 80s?
Nope.
Probably.
Doesn't even sound familiar.
Well, it's currently in talks to get a sequel all these
Okay.
years later.
Or an obscure '80s movie is going to get a
Yeah.
sequel. Sure. Why not?
See, all right, now that's the time for a
Uh-huh.
remake. When you have
Yeah,
something obscure
could be.
that maybe didn't do very well, and
Right.
you
Oh,
can
no,
remake it, and then it's
it's not
awesome.
Reimagined.
It's not a remake, it's a sequel.
But that's what I'm saying. That's a time
Yeah.
to do a remake, not a sequel.
Right.
What are you doing? Now,
you're sequelizing a
Goonies-
movie that nobody
Nobody
Yeah.
knows what it is. Yeah.
now Goonies, I don't fuck around with the remake. You can
Or
go with the
Jaws.
sequel.
Don't fuck around with Jaws,
Yeah.
right?
You can go with a sequel, but you can't do a
Right.
remake. You know.
Yeah.
That's
But
been a
that's
big
what they
debate.
keep trying to do.
Big debate on the Geeks is like, what do you do with Back to the Future?
Right.
You leave it alone.
Could you
Yeah.
sequelize that?
Yeah.
Could you add to the lore and
I mean,
create
yeah, you
something
could
where
do other
where
movies. Sure.
now
The
you
Next
do a
Generation.
new, like now they'd be going back to the 80s, right?
Yeah.
So it's like
That would
Well,
be
if
kind of
you-
interesting, actually.
If you did something, you would have to do it now.
Yeah.
Oh,
'Cause
yeah, Brian. I know what you're saying,
Christopher Lloyd's not getting any younger.
and he still rocks too. Christopher Lloyd
Yeah.
still rules. You seen in
Well-
Nobody? He was awesome.
Oh yeah.
man. Haven't seen that.
You haven't
You
seen
haven't
Nobody?
seen Nobody?
I don't think so.
With Better Call
Yeah,
Saul with
great
Bob
movie.
Odenkirk?
Great movie.
Oh yeah.
Give me the
actually,
kitty
fuck,
bracelet.
Okay, I'm sorry, dude. I had forgotten he was in that. That was one of the first movies I saw after COVID back in the
You
theater.
guys know
Yeah.
Okay.
that segment in VHS, the Suicide Cult?
Yes, love it.
That
Love
that
it.
director's doing the
Yes.
sequel to Nobody.
It
Okay.
should be really action packed then, and really
And
good.
That one
They
is
did
supposed
some-
to be in the same universe as John Wick, right?
Yes.
Yeah, the director said that John Wick in that movie with Charlize Theron, Atomic Blonde,
hmm
all exist in the same universe.
I love
Okay.
it. That makes perfect
All right.
sense.
I can
Perfect
deal
sense,
with that.
right?
Man,
Yeah.
that's a
But they're-
crazy
they're-
ass world to live in, man. There's just crazy ass fucking kung fu gun kata fights
I
going
know.
all
Sure.
over the world all the time.
Why not, man? Why not?
Everybody knows how to fight.
They're actually doing another John Wick series. I
TV
guess
series?
Yeah, I guess they're ignoring the other one.
Okay.
The
One
Oh,
of
the
Continental.
Continental?
The Continental.
Yeah. So we'll see.
Give it a try.
Keanu Reeves in it?
He's supposed to be dead, right?
Well, you never know. I mean,
I haven't
is
seen
the
John Wick
boogeyman.
Part 4 yet, so I don't
he
know
is the
answer to
boogeyman.
that.
What is happening right now?
Have you seen the newest James Bond movie, Steve? Can we run that one for you also?
You can. I did not see the new James Bond because I didn't care for the
I
last.
was gonna say I actually haven't seen the new James Bond movie.
I liked it because I loved
All right.
Skyfall, and then what was the one
Yeah.
that came after Skyfall?
Spectre.
That was trash. So
Mm.
I didn't.
See,
go
I
back.
don't think I ever
to
saw
this one.
Spectre.
I seen Skyfall, but I think I heard you guys talk about Spectre,
I was mad that I
I
went to
bought
the theater
it,
and paid for
and
something.
it's still sitting on my shelf in the plastic.
Yeah.
Oh,
I
no.
wanted it. It's Christoph Waltz. I'm like, come on, this could
Yeah.
be. This is gonna be great, and it was not.
You would think so, right? You would think so. Like just like if Sam Rockwell was in a movie, you would think it'd be great, but not so much, right, Philip?
Well, there you have it.
But I mean, that's my own opinion. I don't know. I just didn't hear a lot of people being like, "Oh my God, you have to
Well-
see the new James Bond." Like,
What? I watched Live and Let Die over the weekend. Like my wife and I got like on a nostalgic trip, so we watched an old Elvis movie, and then we watched Live and Let Die, the first Roger Moore movie.
Mhm.
And that's this new fucking James Bond ain't my James Bond. I would Nez all the way. Roger Moore for me, dude. Sean Connery was great, but Roger Moore,
Oh,
those movies were just so much tackier. You know what I mean? Like in bad taste, they could not be made today.
I don't know, like-
Absolutely.
there's a place for Roger Moore, man. But don't like
Right, yeah.
Daniel Craig. Like, come on, man. Casino Royale, Skyfall. Like,
He
I
was
mean,
pretty
my
great
God.
in Casino
Woo.
Royale. Because
Woo.
Casino Royale was a big step up for the Bond.
Woo.
is that the
franchise, I
one with the
think.
opening like parkour chase scene?
I think
Yeah.
so. Yeah, I think so.
th-
Brian.
that's following Pierce Brosnan and all his nonsense.
I hated
Wow.
those.
Those
I didn't
were-
hate
I'd rather-
those,
I'd rather-
man. GoldenEye was
Yeah.
great.
I'd rather watch
The video game was great.
Timothy Dalton ones.
Video game's fantastic.
All right, let's see. Holly Berry's new horror film, Never Let Go, gets bumped up a week to September 20th.
She is looking good. Have y'all seen that new movie on The Union on Netflix with her and Marky Mark?
Marky Mark.
No, is it any good?
Woo! She is looking good, man. I can't. Woo, man, oh man. She
But
does
how was
not
the
look
how
great.
was the movie?
It was
Lance
okay.
he doesn't
passable.
remember.
It was passable. It was Marky Mark doing Marky Mark things, and it was
All right,
hella
I like Marky Mark.
super hot.
Is he just not saying that the quality of the movies he's been in are bad, but is he just
Right.
doing everything now? It's like he's on every
Kinda.
streaming.
Yeah,
Like if it's a
kinda.
streaming, straight to streaming movie, he's like in
Yes.
it.
Him
I
and
think
Kevin
you're
Hart.
right, Brian.
He's like, oh shit, I don't have a retirement.
Right.
Yeah, did he like make some bad investments?
Yeah, some
Like, he's
bad
gotta-
Wahlburgers restaurants or something, right?
It's like
The
why
last time-
Nicolas Cage
The
made all
last time
those
we helped out my brothers, okay?
weird ass movies. Remember there was like 5
Yes,
years
we
where
do.
Nicolas Cage put out like 60 movies. And it was
Oh,
all
yeah.
like, like Pay the Butcher and like weird shit like that. You're like, what
Yes.
the
Well,
hell?
he
remember
was
that.
paying off debts. He
Yeah.
bought like
I'm saying,
random
like, maybe
haunted
Mark-
mansions and dinosaur heads. And,
Expensive comic books. And
yeah.
One of the
Yes, that's
only
right,
movies
that's
I've
right.
ever walked out of was Snake Eyes.
Oh no, it wasn't that bad, was it?
Well, I walked out because like the friends of mine that I was with walked out, and I was like, all right, I
Okay.
guess we're
Oh,
leaving.
my dumbass. My Geek Hat is still on. I was like, what? The G.I. Joe movie? No. You're talking about the one where there's like a
Yeah,
bomb in the
yeah.
fucking.
Nicolas Cage Snake Eyes.
Okay.
It was pretty bad.
All right, let's see here. Garth Ennis's horror comic Crossed is getting a film adaptation, which
Hmm,
they
okay.
basically did already with the
I
sadness.
thought so. Yeah, it was pretty much the same storyline.
I don't. The sadness that is that the Asian film you're talking about?
Yes, that's
Yes.
the one.
I don't need another version of that. I'm cool on that. I've seen that. That's enough
You're
of
gonna
that.
get it. You're
Yeah.
gonna get it. I'm sure Ennis will try to outdo that one then, Brian,
That-
since they kind of stole his idea, right?
There's some shit you can't unsee after seeing that. Sadness.
Let's see, and finally, Crystal Lake, the Friday the 13th series, finally hires a showrunner, Brad Caleb Kane, who recently, I think he was the showrunner for the upcoming Welcome to Derry series on HBO.
Okay. Got the hot hand right now, it sounds like.
All right.
Yeah, so it is officially moving forward.
they're gonna. This is gonna be like the young Jason, right before he goes before he drowns, like where he's just like a
guess.
special needs kid that gets bullied.
Playing in the water.
Fuck,
And
like-
they ignore him.
I don't like. Do I need episodes and seasons of that? Like,
Yeah.
look how mean these people are to the special needs kid. Like, I get it.
That's rough.
Well, I
That's
know they're not going that route they were talking about before, where each season was going to be a movie.
Oh no. Well,
Well, we have to build some compassion for a serial killer.
That's what I'm saying. Like, are they gonna try to like, see now you know why? I'm like, I get it. He should kill all of them.
Yes,
I
that's
understand,
right.
man. I'm on his side. Like, we already know what was done to him was bad. So it's like they need you
Yeah.
to wallow in that misery. I'm still gonna watch it.
right?
I'll still at least
No,
give it a shot.
You know, it's going to be a whole episode built up to him drowning.
Whoa.
A whole episode. Brian, you silly, silly man. That's gonna be the whole first
Oh,
season.
Yep.
They're gonna
That's gonna
milk
be the
that
finale.
shit.
Wait.
And that the season finale is gonna be him like looking at the lake. Some
Oh,
dumb
no.
shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Like not even in there yet.
Wow, you thought House of the Dragon was a cock tease. Shit.
I'm saying these people
All
act
right.
like all this time is guaranteed.
Right?
Like the world's crazy out there right now. Like you just released this shit. We ain't got
Mhm.
time.
All right, that's the news.
All right, Steve, you ready to come with us down to the trailer park?
Let's go.
All right, Brian is going to bring us the big, the small, and sometimes the very, very weird. What's our first new trailer tonight, Brian?
Steven Kostansky's Frankie Frico.
This was a rather
Now.
interesting trailer.
Now, Steve, I remember you and Alil's review on Psycho Gorman,
Mhm.
so I would like to hear your thoughts first.
I think that it looks like a terrible movie that's going to be a lot of fun to watch.
Great description.
Nailed it.
Like the special effects are both awesome and bad. The voice acting is both awesome and bad. The practical effects, the puppetry looks both awesome and bad. Like it's going to be a movie where you just sit down with, that big drink of yours if that's what you're into, or a nice big, bowl of the green like I'm into, and get some munchies and have a good time. I think this looks like a lot of fun. It's not going to be good, but it's going to be a blast.
Right?
Now we'll go on the complete other side now. Lance,
This
you
reminds
loved
me.
Psycho Gorman.
I did. I love Psycho Gorman, and this looks fun. I'm with Steve, both awesome and bad at the same time. I couldn't have put it any better, but this does remind me a little bit. What was that one we saw early in the year with Alex Winter in it, where he played like the Russian neighbor?
Destroy All Neighbors.
Yeah, kind of had a little bit of that vibe to it, maybe. I don't know. Like, does he go into like a Fraggle Rock type world, or like what? I kind of got a Roger Rabbit vibe too.
Yeah,
right?
or
like
what's that? Little Monsters. Like Fred Savage, like it's taken down to the monster world, like it's like their area. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. It looks interesting. I mean, we're all gonna watch it. It looks fun.
Should review Little
the
Monsters
puppets are just
now.
like, oh shit, I don't know.
That might not be a bad one.
The
I
puppets
love
are
that
like,
movie.
they're just really. I like seeing them. I just get nostalgic whenever I see the puppets and all that. Like, it's just a lot of work and craftsmanship went into that shit. It's just, you can see it. So.
Yeah,
All right,
it
Phil.
looks like 80s fantastical bullshit, right?
Garbage Pail Kids. That's what it was.
Oh yes.
And I second everything Steve said. That completely makes sense. And
It's a group watch. Like, you got to watch this with a group.
Like, I'm kind of looking forward to
Commentary.
it. Like, part of me rolled my eyes when this thing came on, and then part of me is like, all right, well, I have to watch it. It's gonna
It
be
knows
awesome.
that it's bad, but it's being awesome about it. Like, you got to give those movies credit.
It's like so good, so bad it's good, but
it's
like
bad.
they know that going into it.
Yeah, right.
So will it work or not? I don't know.
I'm watching it just for Steven Kazansky because he does all the practical effects. You know, we talked about Psycho Gorman. He also did The Void.
Right.
Leprechaun
really like The
Returns
Void.
was yeah, Steve, you left me alone on that one.
What happened?
That's the first time we ever spoke.
The Void?
You were like, are you guys gonna review The Void? And I was like, we can. He was like, I want to be on that show.
Oh, then you disappeared, huh?
Did I not? And then I just never talked to you again, or what?
Yeah, and then I had to argue
You went into The Void.
for The Void against these two.
I watched it again recently.
think-
I watched The Void again like 2 or 3 weeks ago. That movie still is awesome. I still
I'm
like
gonna-
that movie.
I'm gonna
watch it
rewatch
again.
it. I'm
Like,
gonna
yeah, I was gonna say I don't think I loved
That
it.
shit's
the
like
first time
The
I watched
Thing,
it.
but like also like weird witches, and there's like a doctor
Yeah,
that does
the
some
cult.
crazy shit. It's like Hellraiser.
Oh,
It's-
right,
it's-
but it was sort of like they were trying to do all that shit and didn't nail any of it.
I
That's
thought
what
I thought they did a good job with nailing little bits, all of it. I
Okay.
really like that one. Sorry, Brian. I'll never leave you hanging again, man.
I was like, I know at one point I'm like arguing with these guys, and I'm just thinking, damn, Steve.
You left me hanging.
All right. Frankie Frico hits theaters October 4th.
Theaters. This thing's getting a
Theaters.
theatrical.
Oh.
run.
We're gonna see this thing before Toxic Avenger.
Oh no.
Yeah, that's not gonna work.
You mean the finished, already done filming Toxic Avenger?
The one that's unwatchable or some shit. So I'm like, don't Batgirl this, man. Come on, just fucking
No, they can't.
let me
do that.
decide if it's unwatchable. Let me decide if Batgirl's unwatchable. By the way, Brendan Fraser was the villain. I want to see it,
Oh god,
Yeah.
he's got to be so over the top, right?
and Michael Keaton was in it. I want to see the
Really?
fucking movie. Yeah.
Well,
Oh,
Brendan
come
Fraser
on. Shit, I
doesn't
heard-
seem like much of a villain.
I heard that Looney Tune movie that got shelved was actually pretty decent.
Yeah, with John Cena and fucking what's his name? Will Forte.
Space
Oh.
Jam 3 or what?
It was like Space Jam. It was like a
think it was-
cartoon, like Who Framed Roger Rabbit. Who Framed Roger Rabbit? Like the coyote was in the real world.
I can't
It
believe
was like-
nobody's leaked that we've been able to see it, you know?
I
It's
know.
got- it's
They
gotta
did
be
that
out there
tax
somewhere.
write-off shit.
Oh man, what a fucking shame.
All right, our final trailer is starring show favorites Samara Weaving, and that is Azriel. Steve, what you think?
This shit right here
Slow clap.
is amazing. This
Yeah.
trailer had me hooked. I love the setting. Like it's a very like Like it's a setting that we've seen done before, but maybe not necessarily
Yes.
like quite like this.
Okay.
I love post-apocalyptic.
Yeah.
Anything
It's
like
in
that.
a world where no one speaks.
I'm
We've seen this a lot.
I'm playing the shit out of Fallout as we speak again, so like I just love the post-apocalyptic setting, and this one's like after the rapture and the people that are left, and it just has a vibe, a tone. I love movies that have this kind of tone, so this one looks really, really good.
Same.
Lance?
I was very disappointed because you get to see her, tied up, and then she gets away and runs away, and then the creature's coming in. But you don't get to see Samara Weaving being Samara Weaving. You don't see the badassery. So
'Cause
I'm
it's a
hoping
trailer. You
It'll
gotta
be
watch
there.
the
that's what I'm
movie.
hoping, dude. I'm hoping they're hiding that from us because it's just gonna be
Oh yeah.
so fucking amazing when she
Well,
breaks.
she's
loose.
gonna have to do some badass shit. I'm reading the synopsis here, and she's tied up because she's gonna be sacrificed, and she escapes. So she's
right.
gonna be fighting for her life because she's running from this creature, and then you got all these people
Okay.
that are trying to capture her, shooting machine guns and shit at her.
I want to see her team up with the creature and go back and fuck everybody up that tried to sacrifice her. But I don't know.
Make a deal
Maybe
with the
we'll get
devil.
that.
You get like
That'd be
you
cool.
could do like that Millie Bobby
mean-
Brown dragon movie they just put out on Netflix.
That wasn't too great though. That was like a CGI fest, big time. But
You know
it was
what
kind
though?
of fun, but
I had fun with it.
yeah, I did too. Damsel, right? Damsel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was ridiculous, and
It was
like, but there was
ridiculous.
it was Millie Bobby Brown's coming out, like she burned all her clothes off, and you're like, whoa.
And then you feel horrible.
And then you remember that you were in your 30s when Stranger Things came out.
right.
Phil?
Yeah, man, I'm definitely down for this. Some good like demon horror stuff,
Sure.
and Samara Weaving in it. On top of that,
Oh yeah.
that's all it took to sign me up for this one. I'm sold.
This one hits. This is also a theater release, but it's going to get a Shudder release sometime after. But it's going to hit theaters September 27th.
Okay.
And
Not bad.
that's the trailers.
All right. I guess that's me. On to listener feedback. What do we got here? This week we shine the podcast spotlight on spooky chicks and horror flicks. Two girls discuss their favorite horror films with wine-soaked hilarious chats. New episodes every other Thursday. Spooky
right.
chicks and horror flicks. Check them out. Let's see. With in regards to Alien Romulus, Stephen Lobad said, "What a great installment of the franchise! Definitely my cool of the week."
Oh, there you
All
go.
right.
There you go.
All right, some good early reviews. We'll see how it goes. In regards to Peacock's Crystal Lake series, what you were just talking about, David Bartis says, "Just when I was going to cancel my subscription, they come out with this. Good to know."
They keep pulling me back. What was that?
I know.
The Godfather. I try to get away. They keep pulling me
Trying
back
to get
in.
away. They keep pulling me back in. That sounded like Mario.
That was like Mario.
That was like that was the Nintendo version of that.
Not
You
the
gotta
Star
have
Lord
Toad come in
Mario.
and say some wild shit too. Like,
They keep pulling me back in. All right. In regards to Event Horizon, classic movie. Don Lowry says, I rewatched this a couple times recently. There's far more going on if you pay attention. It's unfortunate that the lost footage is gone, but it was way out there. The blood orgy and the crew literally screwed each other to death and tore each other apart.
Jesus Christ. Okay.
Some of the images of the new crew are haunting too if you really look. Rooting and tortured alive. If you read parts of the story in script, it actually has a decent amount of stuff in it to help explain extra details. In it, the doctor, after coming back to the ship, is not actually him. It's an entity of sorts. The blast they all receive from the beginning is also supposed to play on them. They get concussed by it, and it plays into their psyche. The hallucinations and everything are the ship, but their head trauma makes it seem otherwise. I remember not noticing certain things back in the day at first watch, which is unusual for me. However, as a kid, I wasn't versed in Catholicism, etc. But the ship has so many religious images, like cathedral imagery and designs. The 9 circles of hell on the bridge, with the rotating blades to represent Dante's Inferno, etc. I didn't know the meat plastered to the ceiling. I didn't notice the meat plastered to the ceiling either, or not fully. I like deep diving into films like this and that have imagery and different Easter eggs, meanings or adaptation, etc. The Shining being probably the best example, but this is definitely one that has many layers if you choose to think about it and watch for it. But it's not a necessity.
Man.
But it is cool, and that's part of the reason that I like that one.
Right. Right.
Yeah, Event Horizon is great, man. It's terrifying.
I say we got to get Don Lowry on the show, Brian.
Yeah, for sure.
This dude's always spouting knowledge in the group. This dude knows his shit, man. Don,
Yeah,
if
I'll
you're
reach out
listening,
to him.
definitely, man, definitely.
And that is a shame about the lost footage. When they actually found it, it was just so badly damaged that they couldn't do anything with it.
Yeah.
Kind of like Batgirl, huh?
Oh no, that movie's fully done, sitting there.
Okay.
Maybe not fully CGI.
Or
like
at
all
least
the
that's what they
effects.
tell
Right,
us.
right. So they say, right?
They're like,
I don't know,
oh,
though.
it's
Maybe-
our
maybe,
text
like-
break. It's
Like-
fully done. We've already shot it, and that's where we spent all the money. It's definitely here, but you can't watch it.
now give us that tax break.
Yeah.
They asked Michael Keaton if he was sad it didn't come out. He's like, nah, it was a nice check.
There you go.
Fair enough.
Paid for a beach house for him, right?
In regards to 7, Rob Cav says the plot twist was a jaw dropper. Awesome. In regards to the new Crow, Don Lowry says I saw the trailer and nope, I just can't.
that's what you said, Philip.
I just hear
I guess we're gonna find out
Pennywise,
next week.
and he looks like he only eats meth. That's great.
I've watched all the Crow movies.
Yeah.
Right.
I have because like
City of Angels.
I found something to
What do you
like in
mean
part
all of
3.
them? How many Crow movies are there?
4,
More than you know.
4, and a show that I watched most of.
Oy.
So they had the one that came out part 2 that wasn't very good with the Yellow
Right,
Ranger
right.
in it. Then they had part 3
Okay.
with Kirsten Dunst, and that one was had a very low budget but had some cool ideas.
Okay.
So I kind of like that one a little bit. It doesn't hold up though. It's the effects are really bad.
Kind of dated.
Yeah. And then part 4 with Edward Furlong and Tara Reid
Oh God.
and
I don't
David
think I saw that
Boreanaz.
one.
Ouch.
That one was bad.
Rough
Damn it, I'm
stuff.
gonna have to watch all these before next week.
What happened to Edward Furlong, man? Come on.
That one was bad. David Boreanaz plays the actual devil in that movie.
Oh.
Satan himself.
I just hope people judge the movie for what it is, not that it's not the original one.
I'm going to go into it with an open mind. I do not like the aesthetic of the characters. It portrays a lifestyle and a group of people that I don't really associate with. So I can't find any connection to it.
Yeah. Makes
I'm like
sense.
face
I can see
tattoos
that.
and your weird half mohawk.
Right.
I can survive looking like that. So I just, we just can't relate, you know what I'm saying?
Oh, you're just not a
Understood.
normal human being. Okay.
Steve, have you seen Boy Kills World?
Not yet.
Okay, check that one out and let me know what you think, because I think after watching that movie, he can handle doing some fight sequences, choreography.
I like Bill Skarsgård. Don't get me wrong. And
Yeah,
I
me
think
too,
that
right?
I don't think he's. If there's a problem with this movie, I don't think it's going to be his portrayal.
Right.
You know, I don't think it's if I ended up walking out of the movie going like, oh my god, it's not going to be because of him.
Maybe the
Okay.
way that they portrayed him, but not the way that he portrays the
I think some of
character.
the action in the trailer looks fucking
Now,
yeah.
awesome. Some of it looks great. That fight scene on the stairs where he's just taking the shots and just fucking people up. It could be great, but it could also be really bad. So
Right.
Bad. Yeah.
hard to
Well,
say,
it's-
man. These
Well, you don't have,
trailers
you don't
are
have long to wait.
trailers are tricky.
It's on that precipice. This movie's either going to be awesome or really, really not.
Or both, right? Like
Yeah.
the one we just watched the trailer for.
Maybe. All right. And in regards to Alien Romulus, Hannah Elise says, I love Fede Alvarez. Give us something nasty and gross.
All right.
That's a weird
We might
thing
get
to
it.
say, but okay.
We might get
All
it.
right. Show intro and new logos come from our man Steve.
Yeah!
Hey.
We're here.
He who rocks behind the rose.
There it is. Original skull artwork from Natsalani. Check
That
her
came
out
out
on
cool.
Instagram.
That would came out great, dude. I'm gonna wear it to Horror Nights in a couple of weeks. We'll see who all gets it.
Yeah, I know. That's a deep cut.
That's gonna be cool.
Yeah,
How many-
that's a super deep cut. And if you'd like to help us out, please consider becoming a Patreon patron. We'll let you pick the movies for a future show at any amount. And for $5 or more a month, also pick a commentary for a future bonus show. And that's not all. If you join at the $5 tier and stay with us at least 3 months, you get 6 koozies, a t-shirt, and a pop figurine, all of which are worth more than the money that you spent.
It ain't about the money.
It's a good investment, guys. Do it.
Feels like what's that, like WeWork or something? Y'all are like operating the red. I'm not sure how.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, look us up,
Like
man.
eventually there's gonna be like a Hulu documentary like Lance
Like-
Langford had everyone fooled.
Movie pass.
He was
Like
an
Movie Pass,
unassuming
yeah.
podcaster, but meanwhile.
So get it while you can. Go to our Patreon page. And we'll move on to the featured attractions. This week it's 1986's Aliens and the brand new Alien Romulus. But we'll start with Aliens. Decades after surviving, is it decades? All right. Decades
57 years, right, Naz?
I thought it was like 60. I don't know.
I
Something.
thought she was
56
in
years.
Stasis 57. I don't know.
Ah,
Maybe I
it's-
misheard it.
No, you're right, Lance. It is. I thought it was 56, but it's one of the two. It's right there.
Close
Well,
enough. It's a long
didn't-
fucking time,
didn't,
right?
Didn't click to either one of mine because Ripley is still young-ish.
Ripley is still ripped.
Yeah,
She was in
decades
that, she was in
after
that Deep Sleep.
surviving the Nostromo incident, Ellen Ripley is sent out to reestablish contact with a terraforming colony, but finds herself battling in the alien queen and her offspring. Director is James Cameron, also known for The Terminator and Rambo and many, many other things. Writers are James Cameron, David Giler, and Walter Hill. Like most films, the movie wasn't shot in sequence, but added for realism. James Cameron filmed the scenes where we first meet the colonial Marines. One of the earliest scenes last. This was so that the camaraderie of the Marines was realistic because the actors had spent months filming together. That's smart.
Makes sense.
Lance Hendrickson. Hey, there you go.
Yeah, friend of the show, despite his handler.
Had previously pledged to quit acting if this part didn't work out for him after years of journeyman roles. It proved to be one of his most successful films. Was pretty great. All right, Nez, you want to start us out with Aliens?
Which version did you guys watch?
I watched
I
the
didn't
one
know
on
there were-
Max. Whatever's on Max.
I didn't know there were
It
multiple
was
versions.
2 hours and 19 minutes.
There's a special edition director's cut one.
Oh, I watched the one on Hulu. I don't know which one that is. Look at there it is.
Steve's
Both of
looking
them.
this up.
Steve's got
Okay.
it.
Yeah, I have
A Tale
both. I
of
just
Two
watched the
Aliens.
regular one that's on. I just watched this.
Gotcha.
The
Well,
CBS Fox. I didn't watch
On the
that.
merit of the movie, like if there are big differences, please let us know.
There's a lot of big differences they cut out of it. I mean,
Is
but
there?
I mean, you could see why they cut them out. But I mean, they showed the one of the scenes that should have been in the original theatrical cut was the scene with Newt and her family, and
okay.
they showed the colonists before the aliens took over. I mean, so
Oh, I've
I thought
seen that before.
I
Oh,
thought
then I did not
cool.
see that version this time.
I thought that was cool. And then the other little small things that they added in later, especially with that automatic machine gun that they had stuck in one of the corridors.
Mhm.
When aliens come, it would just automatically start shooting them. But we hear it, we don't see it though. But and there were some other things they threw in there. I mean, not a lot. I mean, even I want to say there was a scene with Ripley, them talking about her daughter a little bit more. I can't remember. I haven't seen it in a while, but this one I saw it when it came out. I had first heard about it. I went to see that one film with Gregory Hines and Billy Crystal, Running Scared.
Yeah, where they went to Key West.
Yeah, when and I saw a big cardboard stand-up of Ripley, and I was like, "Who is she holding?" At this time, we didn't know who Newt was, and she was standing
Right.
with eggs around her. So I was like, "Whoa, there's another one." So that was all I knew. Did kind of saw trailers, but I don't really remember them. No internet in the old days, boys and girls. So the movie came out, we went and saw it, and I was just blown away with what we had seen. I mean, I was really hyped that James Cameron did it because we already saw Terminator, and that's an amazing film. So we sat through it. It was my brother and Mike and I. We all saw it, and then as soon as it was over, we were like, we need to watch this again. And this was in the day when
Oh yes.
they didn't kick
Yep.
you out. So
Let the cleaning crew come in and do their business and hang out, right, Nez?
yeah, we just sat in the lobby, and then when the next one came on, we walked back in there and watched it again. But I love this one. It ain't my favorite. I know a lot of people say this is their favorite one out of all of them, but not mine. Alien 3 is my favorite.
Oh,
But
That's a
hot
good
take.
one. Yeah, no, that's a good one, man. Alien 3 is way underrated, I think.
I mean, I just liked it because they didn't have weapons to fight it. The theatrical version, not the special edition one, when it was
Right.
a cow or an ox or whatever it was. I thought that was kind of lame, but whatever. But this one, it was cool. I loved it how we all thought they were going to go in there and just destroy them all, because we see all the weapons and the Marines, and we see all these big giant missiles that they're loading up and everything, and they had the drop ships, thinking, oh man, they're going to go in and just level the place. Nope, it was overpowered and everything.
Game
And all
over, man.
the characters in it was amazing. Vasquez being my favorite character. Different times in the 80s, boys and girls. She was not Mexican, but she was playing that role. They had to darken her up. I believe, I want to say she's Jewish, but I'm not sure.
Really?
Yeah, so I mean,
I didn't know
different
that.
times, everybody. I mean, it was how the 80s rolled back then.
Right.
Michelle
all the
Rodriguez in there. Come on.
all the characters were cool. Hudson, Bill Paxton, rest in peace. He was amazing. He'd already been in Terminator, worked with James Cameron before, and I really loved his role in True Lies. That was awesome when he was the car
Yes.
salesman dude. But everything in this, the special effects, the score was amazing. But to come back after all these years, well, it's not really that. When was the first one? 79?
Yeah, late 70s sounds about right.
What year did this one come out?
86.
86? Okay,
86?
so
Yeah, 86. I graduated high school. I remember.
I was still in
I was 3.
your high, I think.
You guys were all in diapers.
But the everything about it was amazing, and I just love it. This is the one that I'll throw in every now and then. I did watch the one that was on Max or Hulu or whatever it was on before, but I've always just loved the special edition one just because for the extra scenes they throw in. I had that big box that quadrilogy.
I got that one too, Niz.
I picked that one up because it had both versions of each film.
Yes.
But the special effects were amazing. The only thing I really didn't care for was the redesign of the xenomorphs. I really loved how the original one looked with the smooth head and type of skull. This one they didn't. They were, I think they called these warrior xenomorphs because they had the little spiky mohawk looking thing on the top of their heads. But they were still cool. I mean, it was all practical effects, no CGI yet. And it was awesome. Everybody in it. I've met a lot of the cast and I've talked to them about this film, and they all said they had a good time. It sucks that James Remar couldn't keep it under control with the drugs, but hey, man, that's what happens. And then they brought in Michael Biehn, Kyle Reese, so that was cool. He had already worked with James Cameron, so that was awesome. And yeah, I mean, everything was just amazing about this film. I love it.
All right, Steve.
Yeah, this Aliens is easily in my top 10 like movies of all time, and
Oh wow.
on certain days maybe even in my top 5. Like I watched this yesterday and it still holds up. Like just as a film, the way it handles characters and gives you just enough that you give a shit about every single person in this movie. This is a big cast to get introduced to and have you care, because some of them you only get to know them for like 10 or 15 minutes, but their deaths matter, you know. I was noticing a lot watching this recent time that just some shots, like there's a shot of the Marines going into like the nest, and it's just this shot of all of them turning around and looking at it, and it's back behind them, and you just get all of them in this awesome group shot. And I'm like, that's a fucking poster. Like that's art right there. There's just so much of the movie that's just beautiful to look at. I love the lo-fi tech. I love this shit. The way this 80s future tech, like I love how like everyone's still smoking inside.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
The
Old school cigarettes.
all the little knobs and notches.
Everything's
and stuff
like fucking
that.
got a blinky light and a switch.
Yeah.
You know,
That's what I
lots
was
of
thinking
flips
about
and switches
the
and
original
buttons.
Alien. There was like
I
a
love
million fucking buttons. I was
Everywhere,
like, there's
and
no
they
way
all
do
every one of
something.
those does something.
Like the original Space
And
Station.
then these people come in and they fucking like bop 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 bop, and you're like, damn, they know what the fuck they're doing, because
Very
that's a million
tactile.
buttons. Perfect. And this is just more of that. I love the practicals with the aliens, the Queen alien. There's been some discussion on whether or not the Queen is canon, because apparently she's actually only ever been in this and one Alien versus Predator movie. She's never even mentioned in any of the other stuff
Like,
that
hey,
Ridley Scott did.
kind of like the Borg Queen in Star Trek, Steve. Kind of the same concept.
Yeah. But you know, I still think that the design of it's incredible. Like when you get that reveal, another artwork shot, like it's just framed so well with the legs going out perfectly, and she's standing there holding Newt and the eggs are around her. Like another just beautiful shot. And the score, the acting, Michael Biehn kills it. He's the best. The movie ends on such a high note, such hope for Ripley and her new family. I love this movie. This movie's
and
great.
then comes Alien 3, right?
Yeah. Well, Alien 3 is not my favorite. Nez, I love you, buddy. It's not my favorite. I love this one. So that's it for me.
Is this one your favorite?
Oh, it's hard though. Because like it all depends. Like it goes between this one and the first Alien, because Alien and Aliens are two different beasts. Alien is like a creature feature horror movie in space. You know, in a really cramped, narrow spaceship. Aliens is like action, Marines, many xenomorphs getting mowed down, like more face hugger shit. You get to see the face hugger. I forgot that you got to see the little face hugger wiener.
Oh, I know.
Yeah. I thought that was a Romulus reveal, but now you get a whole bunch of it in here.
Was like, wow, that's kind of overkill.
Like in this one, like even Reese is like, oh, I think he likes you. I'm like, damn, Reese. I mean,
this used to be my favorite, hands down, but as I've grown older, I like the original one too.
It's hard to
Okay.
beat
So
that one. Man.
yeah, they're kind of a toss up to me.
And maybe
Uh,
Romulus. We'll see.
Yeah, Brian, what do you think?
This is probably one of the greatest sequels of all time.
Oh, for sure.
I can't argue with that.
This can arguably, depending on who you talk to, exceeds the first one.
Understandable. Yeah.
Great cast, great effects. I can't tell you how many times I've seen this movie, and it never gets old.
Mhm.
So quotable. Steve, you brought up you get to care for these people. That's how well the story is written and these characters are written. I mean, even what's his name, Gorman, the officer.
His arc is incredible.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So good.
got the cigar going, chomping on
No,
the cigar.
No, that's
not that.
Sarge,
The
okay.
inexperienced
Okay.
guy
the guy that
has
gets the
no idea-
concussion.
that has no
Okay,
idea what he's
okay.
doing there, who redeems himself later with Vasquez when
Has the dopest redemption arc. Goes out like a boss.
Okay.
So
There you
good.
go.
Yeah. See, I wasn't even thinking about him. I considered him a secondary character, but like you guys are saying, you care about everybody in here. You know.
yeah.
Even Bill Paxton, like he's fucking game over, man. But like
I'm not going
he's
in there.
taking fucking aliens down.
Right.
You know
right.
what
Yeah.
I mean? So
Yeah, because he has a point where when you first get introduced to him, he's kind of laughing off the fact that it's aliens, and he's just ready to go in there. And then when they get their ass
Mhm.
kicked, of course, game over, man, game over.
Right.
He's like, you guys didn't tell me they had like acid blood, man.
And then, like Steve
Bullshit.
said, he's going out taking aliens with him.
yeah, when
And
the
then-
ship goes down, he loses his shit.
And I
It's like,
think
oh.
the actress who played Newt, I think she did a great job.
Oh, definitely.
Kind of
Yeah.
wish. Yeah, I'm not on that train either with Alien 3. I hated what they did with Newt and
Well,
Hicks.
That's just the story arc, man. That's the way they decided to go. You know.
It's no story arc. They got killed not even off screen, off credits.
Unceremoniously, kind of like Jamie Lee Curtis in the one Halloween movie that's
Yeah.
like retconned out.
That's why I always
was-
wanted to see the Neil Blomkamp
Yes. Did you
movie.
see, dude, the art they released? With
Yeah.
Hicks standing there with half his face melted, all in his gear again. You're
Oh,
like,
wow.
yes. And Michael Bean's like, dude, I heard there's an audiobook out there with Michael Bean back as Hicks. It's like another version of a sequel to Aliens,
Right,
Huh.
right.
where they keep it going in audiobook form. So
Okay.
But yeah,
Understand
this is probably my favorite in the franchise for
Yeah,
sure.
you're not alone. You're not alone.
yep.
Lance, what about you?
Oh man, this movie is so fucking iconic, dude. When this movie came out, I was in such a cool part of my life because, like I said, I graduated high school, starting to go to college, and must have seen this 6 times in the theater easily. Like we kept going back over and over again, and this was just like had so much rewatchability. And when I was rewatching this movie last night, one thing I really never noticed is it's halfway through the fucking movie before you really get into the aliens. It's just
It
like
really
a military.
is.
It's like an army movie, right?
Yeah.
Like
But there's
Saving
so
Private Ryan.
much. There's so
Oh.
much. There's like all this trauma from Ripley that you're like unpacking. You're like getting to know Paul Reiser and his
Absolutely.
smarmy ways.
Oh yeah, it's the fuck. What a schmuck, huh? It's company man, right? Like you can tell from the beginning, because Cameron does that trope a lot, right, Steve? Like we're like an Avatar, right? You always get the company.
Giovanni
man, right?
Ribisi.
Absolutely, the slimy company guy. So yeah, you got to have that character in there, and you got to have the tough guy, the tough gals. So yeah, it's just there's not a lot you really need to say about this movie because you just need to see it. You need to experience it. It is not my favorite in the series. My favorite's the first one, but it's like a really, really close second. Like Brian said, this is like a sequel done right. Because it's like it takes the same universe, but it makes a completely different type of film. Because you've got like an army adventure, like a military style movie, and then at the end you got such great practical effects throughout all this. And yeah, this is just a classic. I mean, we could just sit here and gush for hours about it.
Mhm.
It's that good of a movie. And it's like 2 hours and 19 minutes, and that's not even the director's cut, but it's kind of like you're in and out. Feels like an hour and a half movie, and it's just really, really polished from start to finish. This is like Cameron at his best.
I love the miniatures. The miniature shots of the car rolling through with the big ass fire on it, you know?
Oh yeah,
Like, damn,
for
that
sure.
fire-
Yeah,
For
that,
sure.
that
I
whole
love
when she's in
Yeah.
the cargo loader suit thing, that was done with miniatures too.
Was it? I couldn't
Yeah.
tell. I couldn't
That and a lot of the stuff like with the ship crashing and stuff, all that was miniatures. I love that she's strong enough to withstand getting sucked out into space. She could do pull-ups and that shit.
tell.
In the
Yeah,
vacuum of space.
kind of
Tough.
far-fetched. Kind of far-fetched there at the
Love
end, but
it.
it was fun. It was fun, right? That's movie magic.
Yeah, of course.
That was definitely movie magic. And you know, some of it worked better for the 80s than it does now. But
Okay.
still, I think this one is my favorite Aliens movie. Like
Nice.
it's pretty awesome. I mean, it's so the first one is very like slow and like straight
Slow
up
burn.
horror movie.
Yeah, like a 70s horror movie, right?
Right.
Slow burn, like The Exorcist or something.
Yeah. Very, very slow burn. And this one is just action fucking packed.
Start to
Well-
finish.
Ish, because like you said, they don't even really hit the aliens until halfway through the damn movie.
Yeah, but there's
But,
still a lot of action and a lot of really good
there
character
is.
development, and like you
Yeah.
fall in love with all of them.
Right. It's better like just everyday people watching movies, I think. and this one totally works. I like all the different aspects of the aliens. I was gonna ask you guys, do you think that they are sort of based on like ants, where they have like a queen and then these little soldier aliens and stuff like that, or like
Yeah, I think that was pretty, insect-like,
yeah, very very insect
hive
like.
mind,
And it's not too insane to believe that, you know, maybe there would be something that's just very resilient out there, and one day while we're mining asteroids, which probably won't be that far off in the
Not too
distant
far
future,
off. Yeah, that's going to be the first trillionaire is the one
Do-
who finds a way to mine an asteroid, right?
do we run into some really like seriously dangerous space cockroaches?
Probably just a virus, dude. Probably nothing that romantic, Philip. Probably just
Yeah,
a
we're all
fucking
just gonna get
virus.
tummy aches and die. It's gonna be just
Diarrhea.
dumb. There's not gonna be cool aliens or superpowers. We're all just gonna
Right.
be like, oh my god.
You know, where they're not very technologically advanced, but they're just like
Yes.
super adaptable
Yes.
and will fucking
Definitely.
survive anything, and then
Uh-huh.
they're parasitic where they just take on hosts and just spread.
Yeah, I mean, it's if you go and watch throughout all the movies, they like you said, they adapt, they learn quickly. They don't make the same mistake twice.
Like the ones that actually won was Invasion of the Body Snatchers.
Right, right.
Yeah.
You didn't stop them. I mean, I'm going by the 70s one, not the original. But because at the end, you think Donald Sutherland's all good, I mean, rest in peace. But then he turns out he fell asleep somewhere. I would have fell asleep too because they were running
Yeah.
around all
At some
night for their
point, you got
lives.
to, right?
And then it got him. And yeah, man. I mean, if anything, I base all my science fiction and aliens from movies and TV, but I would like it to be like Alienation, to where they come down and try to live with us and everything. But
You're gonna get that with Noah Hawley's show, Alien Earth,
Maybe they already have.
which is
I'd
coming
rather
out.
have Cocoon happen. I'd rather go to this world where no one dies and
With
gets
Wilford
sick.
Brimley and Steve Gutenberg. You want to go hang
Wilford
out?
Brimley came back and stayed on Earth, so no, I won't be with Wilford Brimley.
Yeah, he came back. He came back, but he came back with that Cajun accent from that Van Damme movie.
And
Oh, boy.
diabetes.
hard
Wow.
target.
There you go. There you go, man.
Speaking of that, are you guys ever getting back to those?
I've been begging, but I gotta convince these other two yokels. So if somebody wants to come and do the rest of them with me, just let me know. I spent a lot of time on that intro.
Brian and I will jump in and do it with you.
Yeah,
The
the
Van
action
Damme guys?
return boys will jump in.
I will gladly move the Van Damme retrospective over to Action Returns if you guys want to keep that show going.
Oh hell
All
yeah!
right.
I'll do
Just
it.
You
be
heard it here first.
Just a
Fuck
shame
yeah,
you already
man.
did the good ones.
There was a period of time
That's
in my
true,
life
we
where
did
I
some
was
good
trying
ones.
to watch every Van Damme movie.
Oh my god!
Why? Why?
I think we got because we started getting
As a
in the
kid.
weeds with some. It got like the last one I think we did was the one with him and was the guy that played Rob Schneider, where he was like he played like a fucking like a guy with
Oh,
like
was it with the counterfeit clothes
yeah
or something?
counterfeit clothes. Yes, I was like, what the
Knock
fuck
off.
are we doing,
Knock
man?
off.
This
Yeah,
is-
knock off.
Rob Schneider and Van
Oy-
Damme,
oy
dude,
vey.
sold.
Yeah, right?
That's all you
Get
had
to
to
get
say.
Will Ferrell in there too, right?
Yeah.
Fucking
Yeah.
Billy Madison pops up. Be all right.
Oh yeah. Why not? Oh yes.
Did you ever watch? Did you ever watch
Knock off
Jean Claude
the
Van
ropes.
Johnson? That
Yes.
show,
Oh yeah.
wonderful show. That show is fantastic. Sorry,
I mean-
we went off on a tangent.
All right.
That's what
In
we do.
Aliens, we do see what's his nuts. We never see him die really. Paul Reiser's character.
Right.
What the hell was his name?
So maybe he's an alien concubine now, Nez, or what?
What was his name in the movie?
It was
Shit.
Elon Musk? maybe?
Carter.
I don't know.
Burke.
Was it Carter Burke?
Yeah.
Burke. It was
Sounds
Burke.
about right. Yeah.
Definitely Burke.
Okay, well, there is an expanded universe that just came out recently within the last few months. There's a Marvel series, What If?
Huh.
And it was what if Burke survived and got away with what he wanted to do by bringing the eggs back to Earth and all hell breaking loose. I have not read it yet. It's a 5-issue limited series. All 5 issues are out now.
Oh, that's cool.
So
Yeah, they're
I-
also doing
Sounds
a Avengers versus Alien series too.
Disney got the rights.
That's right. They can do what they want.
Well, I'd imagine I guess we'll get into that in
Damn, one of
spoiler
those
talk
space
for the
huggers
next.
is gonna
Will
go
we?
to town on a superhero. That's gonna be gross.
Oh yeah. Well, I was gonna say I like in the spoiler talk for the next one, but like I'd imagine if they brought back all the medication and stuff that they had planned for this one,
Sure.
they'd probably stop that after the first incident. But we'll see. All right.
Don't say too much, Phil.
Yeah, I know. Scores on Aliens. Nez?
I'll give the special edition one a 10, and then I'll just give her the theatrical one a 9.
Nice.
Okay. Steve?
Yeah, I figure like if I have a movie, like my top 10 list should all be 10s. So
Yeah.
if
Makes
Aliens
sense.
is up there, 10.
Fair enough. Brian?
Come on now, it's a 10.
Lance?
Damn.
Yeah, this is 9 on 10. 9 on 10. Almost perfection. Second best alien movie in the series.
I think I still gotta go 10 on this one, man.
All right.
Fantastic.
Damn.
Yeah, the
This
best
is
in the
this
series
is
for
beating
me.
into the Spider-Verse, guys.
I know. Almost.
It's almost a perfect movie.
Yeah.
I'm struggling to find something to complain about with it.
The miniatures, I guess.
They were done great. I didn't even
They looked
realize
really
that was a
good.
miniature.
But like they were great when I was, 10.
Okay.
I mean, maybe I'm just
now you're
nostalgic
looking
for
at
it.
it and you're like,
Fair
all
enough.
right, well that's definitely
Yeah.
on a set. I didn't realize they were
Right.
miniatures, but it's like, oh, all right, well that's
Definitely on the
a
sound
set.
stage, right? Yeah.
Yeah, you're knocking over styrofoam pieces.
It
Great.
sucks when you can see it clearly because then you can always see it. Like now I see it in speed.
Right.
All
Yeah.
the time I'm like, I see all the miniatures they
Yeah.
did in speed.
Yeah.
So many.
Or where they speed up the film to get them to
Yeah. What are you gonna do though, man? Come on. Would you prefer CGI fire, Philip?
No. I like it for what it
No,
is.
I'd rather have
man.
real fire, even if it's really big.
I
And
know.
I'm
Even
still
if somebody
gonna
gets
give it a 10.
burnt.
All right, let's move on to the next one. Let's see. I got some notes here. Alien Romulus from 2024.
Alien Romulus. All right.
While scavenging the deep ends of a derelict space station, a group of young space colonists. I don't know if that's what
I
they
don't know
are.
about that.
Yeah, come face to face with the most terrifying life form in the universe. Director and writer is Fede Alvarez, also known for Don't Breathe and the new Evil Dead series. Director Fede Alvarez sought out the special effects crew from Aliens from 1986 to work
There you
on
go.
the creatures. Physical sets, practical creatures, and miniatures were used wherever possible to help ground later VFX works,
Cool.
except the one, but we'll talk about that. The idea of an alien film centering on younger characters was inspired by the deleted scene from Aliens that was later restored in the special edition. Fede Alvarez explained there's a moment where you see a bunch of kids running around the corridors of this colony, and I thought, wow, what would it be like for those kids to grow up in a colony that still needs another 50 years to terraform? So I remember thinking, if I ever tell a story in that world, I would definitely be interested in those kids when they reach their early 20s. All right.
Sounds like a real fan. Sound like the
Yeah.
right person made this movie.
Exactly. Nez, did the right person make this movie?
I'll go last.
Okay.
Okay.
Steve?
The suspense is killing me.
Yes, I believe the right person did make the movie. I have questions. This would definitely not be my favorite movie in the Alien franchise. I have questions about just certain aspects of the story, like how certain things like logistically work. But
Anything you can go into now, or would it be like spoiler territory for sure?
probably spoiler territory.
I'll tell you what,
especially-
is it top 3?
Yes.
Okay.
I would probably
Wow!
I would put this above Prometheus and Covenant
Okay.
and Alien 3.
Even Alien
Wow.
Resurrection.
And way above Alien Resurrection.
Easily. Yeah.
Way above
the,
Alien
Fr-
Resurrection.
the French director.
This is not
But-
over Prometheus.
This is over Prometheus.
Over
Again,
Covenant. I'll agree with that. Not Prometheus. That movie was fucking awesome.
I
Okay.
love Prometheus. I'm totally in the minority.
I know,
on
I
that.
do too. No, I do too.
I still
I
have
was-
tried and find myself dumbfounded by what anybody's doing. But
That's fair.
and the terrible old man makeup on Guy Pearce just is so distracting. but this one, like, again, the lo-fi tech, right? This felt like
Yep.
going back in
It fit
to
right
the
in.
Alien universe. Everyone's wearing the high top Reeboks. I'm fucking in. You know, some of the characters or whatever, but they made face huggers scarier and grosser than they're not even face huggers. They're face fuckers. That's what they are
Yep.
in this movie.
That's exactly what they are.
So like they made them scary. The xenomorphs were cool. They showed some elements of the xenomorphs we haven't seen before, like that I've never noticed. Like, how do they go from the little tiny white thing that pops out of your chest to the giant black alien that's running around? Like, well, there's
By
a
a
whole
big
nother,
vagina on the wall.
yeah, more suggestive stuff, and then it continues. I did
Yeah.
not like the end. Didn't like any of that.
No.
So there's where my problem lies. They tried that before and it wasn't good then and it's not good now. So
Okay. All right. Well,
that's where I'm at with that. Has some problems with the end, but man, they did some really cool stuff. All that gravity shit, good.
yeah. Yeah.
Auto aim guns, good.
Where,
that was
where's
awesome.
that tech in Aliens?
I know, huh? They should have had that. Well, they had
That was-
automatic turrets that were blowing the shit out of them. So
That was my gripe when they pulled those things. It was neat. I loved it, but I was like,
Mhm.
damn, they did the Colonial Marines dirty by not giving them those.
that's the
Yeah.
budget. You know, budget reasons. This was private security on this shit.
Hey man, I
Uh,
didn't get M4s in the army.
I really liked it. I wanted to love it, but I really liked it. So that's where I'm at.
All right,
Who's next?
Brian, what do you think?
I think I'm right there with Steve. I came into this really wanting to love it, but I'm almost there. But what really killed it for me was I think it was a little too much fan service. Just a
lot.
little
I
too.
could see that. I could see that.
Some of it was cool. When some of it happened, we'll get to it in spoilers. I was like, that's pretty fucking
Yeah.
cool that they threw that in there. And others, I was just kind of like, I don't know why that's in there.
Little corny, maybe.
I'm curious.
I thought the acting was fine. I really loved. I just had his name. I forgot the
Andy?
actor that played Andy. Andy was phenomenal.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
synthetic.
Fantastic.
Was it? Fantastic. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's a theme that's been through all the movies, right, Brian? Somebody's always going to hate the character because they have a reason to. You know what I'm saying? Like the person who's
I just like
synthetic.
not only that, but I just like where he started and where he was in the middle of the movie and then his arc at the end.
Yes.
Yep.
And I completely agree with what they did there, even though some people don't.
Somebody's angry.
Yeah. I've got my own alien over here. Shut up.
Yeah, I thought for the most, I don't understand the complaints about the cast being young.
I thought
they are not, for what a lot of comments on our Facebook page with that they were teenagers. They are not teenagers.
Okay.
They're in their mid-20s.
But Brian, I mean, just to show you how much people have to bitch, there were also people that were on our Facebook page saying, "Oh, this is just old-fashioned, old alien shit regurgitated." It's like, what do you want? Do you want young or do you want old? I mean, people are gonna bitch either way, man.
Yeah, I mean,
Very
it's gonna be old school alien stuff because this takes place in that time period. It's not 100 years after the first one or whatever.
But
maybe it's just
Right.
that people aren't used to seeing young people. Like Hollywood's been on this kick about like
I
parading
guess.
around senior citizens doing cool shit for the last couple few years. You know, like
Yeah,
they're just
that's
like
true.
really hot on it. Like ergo, we're getting Harrison Ford. Borderlands just came out with.
I know.
You know, I'm just
Right.
like,
Yeah.
so maybe it's not that they're too young. It's that they're just not like.
Cruise.
Well,
You
Tom
know,
Cruise.
they're not
And
AARP. You know?
60
with
year-old
with the
he's done
plot
there.
line, I mean, how old do you expect these people to be? Like
Yeah,
they make some young stupid
Yeah.
decisions in the
yeah,
movie.
and plus,
Well,
I thought it worked for the storyline. They're on this
Exactly.
planet, which
Yeah.
they're not allowed to leave because they have contracts, and they see what their lives can be when they look at older people that are still mining on the planet, and they're like, we got to get out of here. We got to do what we need to do.
yeah, the lucky ones, right, Brian? The ones that didn't die of black lung and stuff, right, from working in the mines.
Yeah, I thought the
They actually still use canaries. That shit's wild.
You know what's even more wild? You know how many people have died from nuclear stuff instead of coal mining?
A lot.
No, not a lot at
Oh
all.
no.
No. Like
Like,
there
very
are
few.
like yeah, in the maybe double digits of people that have died from nuclear stuff. But like the people
But
that
it's
died
so
from black
scary,
lung
right?
and coal mining
Yeah.
and shit is
True,
like in the
true.
thousands, easy.
Yeah,
It's insane.
I believe
Anyway.
that. I believe that.
Just throwing that out there.
I like the aesthetic of the ship because it still felt like we're in that time period. Because when they get on the ship, of course, they get to the control room and it's just like thousands
Buttons
of
and
blinking
lights.
lights.
Yeah,
What they
knobs.
do, I don't know, but they're there.
Buttons.
Well, I think that was a big callback to the original, and they didn't do anything
Yes.
except make it look futuristic.
Wow. And if I'm designing something that I want to look futuristic, it's gonna have tons of lights.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like
lights
there's
and
no way all
buttons.
those buttons do something. That's not.
Right.
No, but you feel
Efficient
awesome
at
sitting
all.
down and being like click, 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 click.
Yes,
It just
like
feels
hey,
so
like
good.
like the Smugglers Run ride at Galaxy's Edge, Steve.
Yeah.
Alil could tell you about that.
Oh,
Like they
yeah.
got all these fucking buttons. You got to push the buttons. You got to turn the knobs. You got to flip the switches. It's great, man.
Like that seems super inefficient. Shouldn't everything be like automated at this
Yeah,
point?
not a touch screen to
All
be
digital,
found.
right?
The video still looks like shit. It still has like lines, like it's
No,
VHS. It's
yeah.
still tube screens. Like
Pe-
I love it.
Even the little video game the guy was playing. Did y'all notice that? It was like a little 64-bit game, like on a Game Boy.
It's 80s. It's future in 1979.
Yeah.
You know, and it's not even like cool future. Like when we were
Yes,
introduced to the
yes.
alien crew, they were like truckers, basically. You know, they were like,
Right,
you know, a
exactly.
They're
salvage
coal
crew.
miners.
They were like,
they're
Blue collar,
like asteroid
all the way,
coal
right?
miners.
Uh-huh.
no, I mean like in the very first Alien movie. Like,
Yeah.
they were.
Yes.
Were they coal miners? Ripley
Yeah,
and
they
Kirk?
were they were mining. They were, well, not coal, but they were
Okay,
mining.
were they-
Yeah, they were mining
that's-
precious metals from the asteroids.
But these kinds of crews aren't going to have like the best tech in the universe,
Right.
the top of the line shit. They're going to have the shit their company gave them. You know what my work van is? Not fucking like
Right.
bells and whistles. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like-
You're not driving a Tesla for work,
Yeah.
right?
So I just like that the tech here kind of looks all like that. And then you see the
Mhm.
difference in their ship versus when they dock with the bigger ship. Like the difference in tech is
Mhm.
even like it's higher tech in there than it is on their ship.
I think Fede Alvarez was the right guy to do this. I think he's a big fan of the movies. I love that practicals came first, and it shows in the movie. There was a couple times I didn't like the CGI effects, but it didn't take me
Yeah.
out the film.
Yeah, it did make you hesitate a little, though, huh?
Yeah,
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
but I do know from keeping up with the making of this movie how much practical effects went into this movie and how important it was for him to do that. Not as gory as I thought it was going to be.
Mm-hmm.
It got there a little bit in the
Still
third
gross.
act.
It's not that there wasn't gore, but we've seen Fede Alvarez go to work
True,
Yeah.
in
true.
movies, so
That's true.
I was expecting a little more hardcore gore in here, but it was fine.
That was Ridley Scott's fault. He was there holding his hand.
Why?
Yeah. For sure.
Old man,
like
old man Ridley,
106?
huh?
For sure. He was like, "You're gonna do what? All right, we're gonna put that in the last
He
20 minutes."
basically did what Spielberg, Toby Hooper, and Poltergeist.
Isn't he the one that stopped that Neil Blomkamp movie from happening?
Yes. Fucker.
What's wrong with this
Yeah.
guy?
Grouchy old man.
He wanted to be involved, and they were like,
Yeah.
And then that's why he said, nope.
Well,
Uh-oh.
that's his baby. You're messing with his child. I can understand, I guess.
I know.
All right, Lance, what'd you think?
Oh man, it was fun to be back in this world again. This was a nice little movie between Alien and Aliens. I thought it fit really well. Like you guys say, it had the same tactile. When you're in the spaceship, it's got that same feel it tactile, the knobs, the switches, and all that. And it was kind of seamless. I thought the special effects. But what really got me was really early in the movie. You had a scene where there was a ship going through space. And it was completely silent, which is very, 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 very hard for a filmmaker to capture. Because normally a filmmaker, whether it be Star Wars, Star Trek, Battlestar Galactica, whatever, like they're so tempted to get big explosions, right? Because you want to have explosions, you want to hear it, you want to feel it, you want to get the sound effects. But in space, no one can hear you scream. And in space, no one can hear fucking noise because it's a vacuum. So I love the way they did that. And when the ship pulled up, I'm like, okay, are they going to start making noise now? No, they give you a beautiful score, and the score and the sound engineering in this film is fucking phenomenal. And I
All
was
the
thinking,
sound
like,
effects.
holy fuck,
Yeah.
Fede Alvarez has really advanced this far. And so I got to thinking, well, there's probably a lot of people that helped him with this, and now Nez was saying that the old man was kind of hand holding and all that, but whatever they were doing, it worked. I loved all the characters. Not as much as Aliens, I didn't get attached to him as much as that.
Yeah.
But like when Andy gets he gets bullied, and you see his blood is that milky white substance, and you realize, he's not a human, and that's when it kind of gets kind of interesting.
Andy the android.
Yes, well, it's a little on the nose, but I did like I liked his character development. I thought that the actress we got, I don't know her name, she was in Civil War.
Callie Spaney.
There you go. She played it. She played a very
She did great.
serviceable. Yeah, she played a serviceable Ripley stand-in. I thought she was good for that. She kind of had that pixie thing going, whereas Sigourney Weaver has more of that buff thing going. But she did well. All the side characters were good. You kind of understood what everybody's motivations were, which is difficult to do sometimes when you have an ensemble cast like that. So not a lot of complaints, man. I had fun. I will say this is the most fun I had at the movie theater since Furiosa. So basically, Dune 2, which, I didn't like the movie as much as Brian did, but I still enjoyed the visual effects. That was great on the big screen this year. Furiosa was great on the big screen. And this is what I think you got to see in the movie theater. But I came away happy. I was satisfied with this one. Not in my top 3, but this is probably my 4th favorite one. I'd go Alien, Aliens, Alien 3, and then this one. Easy 4th place.
We're not that far off, Lance. We're not that far off.
Nah, not at all. Not at all. I noticed that when you were talking about it, man. We're kind of right there together.
Nobody likes Alien Resurrection.
Bottom.
That shit's at the bottom.
Yeah. This.
Oh, here we go. Here we
Alien
go.
Resurrection.
Oh, that's got my girl in it, of course.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
I love. She's in it. I gotta show her more love. But all right.
Yeah. No, go ahead.
No, did you go?
Oh no, I'm fixing to go.
Oh,
All right.
fuck. We forgot
Yeah.
about Philip.
No,
Okay.
I like this one a lot. I think it was definitely up there in the Alien franchise. It's one of the best ones they've come out with in a while. I am partial to Prometheus, but
Okay.
they throw a little bit of that in here,
Yes, they do.
and I like that. I like that they sort of build on the lore a little bit. I didn't even hate the ending. Do I go with this as my 3rd or 4th favorite? I don't know, but either way, it beats Alien 3. So
I'm a little disappointed with the ending. I didn't hate it, but I just kept hearing this ending was so crazy.
yeah,
It's kinda
no,
Color
crazy.
me
so crazy.
disappointed.
It's
Color
kinda
me straight
crazy.
up disappointed.
Okay.
I don't
I
hate
enjoyed it.
the direction that they went, but maybe they could have done more with it. I don't
Maybe
know.
there's
That's
another movie coming out.
that's the Monday morning quarterbacking though. I think I like what they did, and I don't hate that they changed things a little bit.
So it'd be fair to say we will get another one because it
Yeah.
had $108 million opening weekend worldwide.
On an
Okay,
$80
well,
million
that's good.
budget.
Not
So-
bad. All right, let's hit some scores and talk spoilers.
Does,
I didn't
does,
go yet.
Yes.
Wait, what?
I
Ness
didn't go.
hasn't. Ness didn't go.
Who didn't
Oh.
go?
No,
Ness.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. Because you're gonna go last. My bad. I was like, yes,
this
you did. I called on you first. Oh wait.
this movie, it was like all the movies rolled up into one. There was so much taken, well, not taken, but there was something taken from each film.
Yeah.
Is
And I
that a
was like,
good thing or a bad thing?
no, it was good. I liked it. I didn't really care so much for a lot of the fan service. I was kind of like, really?
Yeah. Get away from. Okay.
Yeah, that was a little much.
Went over the top.
I was like, come on. But I get
Yeah.
why he said that, because of him being bullied and everything. But because I guess they were calling him a bitch. I had an issue with the very beginning. I was like, oh.
Really?
The ending, I was like, we already seen this, but okay, cool. Did like that it was a actor in the alien suit. Thought that was cool. Again, all the practicals, the score, and I really, Lance, like you said, I really loved how when that first space scene, and it was all quiet, man. It took me back to Kubrick's 2001 Space Odyssey.
Mm-hmm.
That was every time they were in space, it was really quiet. And I was like, ooh, and I thought that was nice.
Yeah, that's hard to capture for a filmmaker.
everybody in it, I had no issues with them being young. I thought it was a good way to go because we've just had older people in all the films, be it just colonial marines, being it the explorers, prisoners and Alien 3, and then pirates and Resurrection. Um, I thought all that. I just loved that they went this route with younger actors, and they were just they were trying to just they wanted a better life. They were tired of being on that planet, and it sucked that you had to stay there for so long, do your time basically before you can leave.
Yeah,
And
like indentured servitude.
yeah, so I was like, I loved how they just found their way out of there to, hey, there's a ship up in our orbit. Let's go up there and get it, and then get out of here. So I loved that whole plan, but then it goes sideways when they find out what's on that ship. But that was a ship in the very beginning. I don't know if I want to get into it right now, on what I thought was lame of, um, but I mean, overall, I did leave the film like that was pretty awesome. I thought it was badass. I loved it. I mean, just going practical effects through pretty much the whole film, I thought that was amazing. I love when they do that. Fede Alvarez. I mean, I didn't really care for Evil Dead the first time I saw it, but then I had to rewatch it over and over. I thought it was cool. Don't Breathe. I thought that movie was awesome. I didn't see that To Catch a Spider or whatever. I haven't really heard much about that film.
You don't need to.
All right,
The books are good. The movies not so much.
but I mean, overall, I thought it was really cool. I really enjoyed it. I'm gonna go see it again this week. A buddy of mine hasn't seen it yet, so he wants to see it. And I just thought it was an awesome film. I really loved what was going on. It moved pretty quick. I didn't get bored at any of it. It's like once it got going, it was like full throttle to the end. So I thought it was awesome. The chick from Civil War, it was killing me. I could not remember what I had seen her in, and then I finally figured it out. But I thought she was good. But Andy,
Yeah.
he was the all star of the film. I
Yeah.
loved his character every time he was on the screen. I want a movie with just him because I really loved what he's done. I mean, out of all the synthetics we've had throughout all the films, Bishop being my favorite,
Yeah, Bishop was my top man.
then Andy, and of course the original OG Ash, and then even Michael Fassbender's David,
Oh
and then
yeah, that I forgot
He was
about him.
great.
he was awesome, and then um, he had a different name in Covenant. I can't remember his name. Um,
You
Oh,
can bring
it
up
was a different
Winona.
one.
that it was cool. I mean, I love how they that they have these synthetic androids or whatever in their crew, and they make them a part of it. They make you like them, or they either make you like them or hate them. So I thought that was really cool. And that this one, Andy, man, they just made feel sorry for him right from the get go, and then as it went along, you just loved his character. In that scene when they took the chip, that way I was like, wait, where was this tech at in the other films? And they took that little chip out and stuck it into him, and he looked like he was possessed. I thought that was pretty sweet. That's
Yeah,
in the trailer, everyone. Um, I thought that was really cool
that was cool.
on how he did when they had to reboot him and all
Yeah,
that.
had like the Wayland Utani logo on his eyes.
That's
was awesome.
right. Everything's Wayland Utani.
In the Reeboks, I thought that was cool
Hell
to
yeah.
bring
The
that back.
demons, man.
I guess they're selling those for like 170 or something. I'm like,
Those are gonna. I think they're gonna be available like on the 27th. They're gonna be sold out immediately.
Yep. I'll get some
But
bootleg ones.
I rather, I like the high top ones they had in Aliens. I like those, like moon boots. I like those.
you can buy
But
those for $1,000 on eBay.
well, not back then when they came out a long time ago. It was way cheaper. That was
Or
back
you,
in the when Jordans were $20 for two pairs, like Copeland's.
you get some old school Reebok pumps. I used to rock those all the time, man.
I mean, but overall, I mean, when I left the theater, I wasn't mad. I did read reviews and watch reviews on YouTube. And some people were complaining, like, oh, this and that. Yeah, why were these kids there and all this? It was just a different take, man. We've seen, like I said, old people throughout all the films. So it was good. It was kind of like a breath of fresh air on bringing in a different kind of a cast, and even making the synthetic younger instead of being an old man.
Yeah.
I think David was probably the youngest before Andy came out, and then that's how it went. But in the end, I left the theater going, man, that was an awesome film. I'm hoping when once it comes out on 4K or Blu-ray or whatever, they have packet full of extras, because I really want to see a lot of the stuff on how they made this film. But in the end, I loved it. I thought it was an awesome film.
Yeah, Nez, my acid test was as soon as that movie was over, I thought, okay, if AJ wants to go see this tomorrow, would I go? And my answer was a resounding yes.
Okay. That's good to know. I like it. All right, scores, and then we'll get to some, because I have questions. All right, so Steve, you went first.
7.5.
7. All right, Brian.
Yeah, I'm right there, 7.5.
All right, Lance.
Holy shit, 7.5.
7.5, I think is a pretty good score. I almost want to give it an 8, but I think I'm gonna go 7.5. I think that makes sense.
I'll give it.
Yes.
I'll go up. I'll give it an 8. I liked it.
Whoa.
Nice. There
I
you
think
go,
you
man.
hate
There
it
you
the
go.
most. All right. Okay, so this was not the original ship because it was a different android, correct?
Yes.
Spoilers.
Oh, we're in spoilers now.
Yeah,
it
we're
was
in
not the
spoilers.
original ship.
No.
This was
Okay.
this was an Ash. This was just another version of that
Another
model of
Ash
android.
model.
Yeah,
It was
kind of like
cool.
how you had David, and I think his name was Walter in the other one.
Yeah.
Nez, if
Walter.
I'm not. Isn't it?
Because-
Wasn't it Walter?
Yeah.
I think so.
Oh,
So
boy.
how does this tie into the Aliens movies?
That's the alien. The alien that's up in the rafters is the alien from the first movie.
That got shot
Right.
out the ship.
But how did that happen?
They sucked it in the beginning. That big rock they pulled in.
Oh,
That was it.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
That was it. They said they said not even the deep space could stop it from living. Like it just turned itself into like a chrysalis. Like you see how they change their bodies and shit. They morph to adapt
he
and
was
all that
like
crap.
Yeah.
frozen in carbonite.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they
they
just
said lack
cocooned
of oxygen and lack of food didn't affect it.
Okay. That was my problem. I thought that was cool that they found it, that it survived. But my problem with that scene, when I rolled my eyes and let out the biggest grunt, the Nostromo blew up in basically a big nuclear blast.
Right.
Right.
Ripley had to get away from the blast radius in order to survive. So she must have been miles and miles away before that thing blew up. And when she shot the xenomorph in the gut with that spear thing, and then it went out into the little jet blast thing, and then she blasted it back out into space. I was like, okay, cool. But I was kind of like, wait a minute, why didn't it burn it up? I mean, you got bullets tearing through aliens and destroying them all. So
Yeah,
I was
nuclear blast should have done some damage.
or just
You would
it
think
should
so,
have
right? Well, Philip just said nukes don't hurt you. So
I guess
right
like in
Rocket
space.
blast.
No,
In space, what is that? Like, how far does that blast radius go in the vacuum of space?
Well, he
Like,
was in the engine, so
right.
but she blasted it out. It should at least
Yeah.
burn up. It. I mean, if bullets can go through it, I'm sure a hot flames or jet blast could kill it. But I'm like,
I don't
okay,
know.
well, I'll let it slide.
They said it lived. So
They're pretty
I
hard
just
to
took
kill.
it
It
as
sounds like
lived.
they're pretty hard to kill, guys.
That
Sound
wasn't
like
my-
they're pretty hard to
I
kill.
don't know. Like you could put your boot on its face and shoot it in the head with a machine gun and take it out pretty good.
Yeah,
You might burn yourself up. But
Yeah,
you
you
can
might get
run
a lot of
over-
acid splashed on you.
intergalactic cockroaches, man.
They ran them over and they killed them. But
Shit,
anyway,
yeah.
that's
Oh
not my
yeah, and
problem.
aliens, sure.
That's not my problem. My problem was, again, they were miles and miles away.
Okay.
And when that ship in this one in Romulus came flying up
Right.
and they found the cocoon, I was like, wait a minute. There's no way.
I can hear
It's
Nez
the
over there.
Wayland
Wait a
Corporation.
minute. What is
I
it,
was
Brian?
like-
I'm sorry.
It's the Whaling Corporation. They're
But like,
everywhere.
but like, why go through all the effort to find this one alien when they're everywhere?
Everywhere.
Apparently.
Yeah.
But maybe
Well,
they're
and-
not yet. Maybe they're not
And
yet.
that was also my question. Like, how does it lead into aliens? Because that seems to be a completely separate event.
It is. It doesn't really lead into aliens.
It just
Okay.
takes
per se.
place before.
I'll bet it does somewhere though. I'll bet it does somewhere. I'll bet you somebody's going to write some novels.
Well,
tie
so
all
if
this
Ripley
together.
was asleep for 56 years or whatever,
Right.
right,
And this movie, they said it's 40 years after the first movie, so there's
Okay.
still 16 years between here and then.
Sure.
But didn't they refer to Ripley?
Yeah,
At
well,
some
Ash
point-
did about the first ship that she was. There was only one survivor.
The one that survived. Well, how do they know that she's a survivor if they haven't found her yet?
Well, they just know that she wasn't
Well, they
like.
know she's not dead,
Yeah.
Oh.
but they don't. I mean,
They don't know. They don't know where
they're
she's
not
at.
confirmed.
Well,
she's
there
dead.
was like a 1 in 1,000 chance, right, that they would have found.
And
her
that seems like
floating
a
up
weird
there, so.
odds for like being afloat in deep space. Like it was only 1 in 1,000 chance. I'm like,
More like 1 in a billion,
Like-
right?
so I have a better chance of finding Ripley in deep space floating around than I do of like going outside and getting hit by a car.
All
Right,
dude,
like
we
the
gotta
fact that they
suspend
would
some
call her
disbelief, Steve.
The
Come on.
survivor is like, but you don't know that
Maybe
she's
they're going
survived
off
yet.
of. Maybe they're going
And
off
it's
of
been,
because.
like, 50 fucking years.
Maybe they're going off of because she's the only one that used one of the escape
Okay.
pods.
All right. So they're
Yeah,
still
'cause the
they're still
pods-
tracking her down. That's government
the pods
efficiency
play a
for
big
you.
part of the pods play a big part in this movie, right? Like they had to make sure that they had enough. What was it? They had to make
The
sure they had
fuel.
like enough oxygen or fuel.
The fuel, the
to keep them
cryo
alive.
fuel. You got to keep that
Yeah,
shit
I mean,
frozen for
cryo
so
fuel.
long.
It was a little far fetched, right? You got these kids, these younger people that are gonna find like a
Well,
ship to get them.
my whole-
you know,
They're not allowed to leave the planet, right?
Well, they
Right.
didn't.
Yeah.
They didn't just.
I
They
know,
didn't just
so why did
find
they
the
let 'em-
ship.
You saw him go, and she talks to the lady, and
Well-
Wayla Yutani gives him the business, like, actually, you owe us twice the amount of time. Like, damn, it's fucked up. And they're like,
that was fucked up.
they're like,
Yeah.
we found this ship in space. We need to go look at it. And then they take off and go. And I'm like,
No, nobody
how
says
are you
anything.
just able to
Okay.
take off and go? And why, when you get up there, isn't there already like a ton of Wayland Yutani people up there? It's like right
But-
above.
No shit. I know.
But
dude,
if
right?
they work as miners, is maybe not part of their job to go up there and mine shit. So they
Yeah, but
probably
wouldn't-
they probably have access to these ships.
Agreed.
Yeah,
Which-
'cause
Philip.
we don't.
was-
We don't.
was
Somebody
we
my-
don't.
tracking that? Wouldn't
That
they have
was-
to log in with somebody, like sign a log sheet or something
Well,
like that?
probably,
I
but
don't
if
know,
they
but it's
were
also
gonna just
future 80s
pop off-
future.
Yeah, but if they were just gonna pop off and leave, who's gonna be like, "Hey, they're not authorized to leave the area"?
Yeah, they're all
They're just
smoking
gonna be like,
cigarettes
"Oh,
inside.
well, that's just they're
Okay,
just
so-
going up to do their thing."
They're too busy.
So jumping in that spaceship to go up there to the space station is kind of like me or you just getting in our Mustang to go down to the 7-Eleven, then, right?
I guess so.
You guys
at
got
that
Mustangs?
I do.
point.
And like, but you know, there's like sometimes there's that supervisor where you can go down and get to the 7-Eleven.
Yeah, I mean, we
Sometimes there's
don't
that supervisor where you can't.
we don't know what kind of jobs we know what kind of job Rain had, the main character. We know she
Uh-huh.
worked in the mines. We don't know the other ones. Maybe they
Yeah,
had
they might have
special
had
clearance to
clearance.
go.
I
up.
just-
Well, they
I don't
can
know.
obviously
Makes sense. I
fly
like
the
that, Brian.
ship.
I like that.
But I'm
And
just
that-
like, okay, so they've been on this planet for all these decades,
Yeah.
right?
Uh-huh.
So how does one of them have a Cockney accent and the other one has like an American accent? And all this-
Rainbow Coalition, man. They
That's a
came
good
from
point.
I
here.
said, but like they've generations on this fucking planet, way the fuck out,
Yeah.
9 years away from any other planet. Like one
They're
guy's like,
like
"This
a-
in the water." I'm like, "Where the fuck did you come
Okay,
from?"
They're a
I'm
penal
getting the-
colony.
I'm getting the
It's like
impression-
Australia.
I'm getting the impression none of us are pissed at any of this. We're all just trying to like.
Oh yeah,
work
no,
it
no,
out,
I don't
right?
care about any of it. It's just funny. It's
Yeah,
it's
the
little
detail.
nits to pick, but it's still like none
Exactly.
of this took me out of the movie. I didn't like sit there and contemplate it while it was going on. I was waiting for the in the water guy to fucking bite it.
I kind of liked him.
He was a
I'm
dick.
glad that he
He was
was
a
there.
dick
Yeah, he
from-
was totally a dick. But
Yeah.
he was
I'm
great.
so disappointed though in the floating acid scene that nobody floated through the acid.
I know.
Yeah, that would've been
somebody needed to go
awesome.
through it because that was such a
Yeah.
good effect. Like I love that whole thing about like the gravity going on and off. And when she's
Right,
floating
right.
into that elevator shaft, and you know the gravity's about to come back on, you're like, oh shit! Like that's really tense.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was. It wasn't as tense. Like Aliens had me like on the edge of my seat the whole fucking movie. Like, what the fuck's gonna happen next? This one was kind of it's a little too far fetched. Because are you really gonna go right through that fucking
Far
swirling
fetched in the
acid?
science fiction horror film.
Well,
Yeah,
I would have
right,
been.
but
I
dude,
would have been
how
out.
can you go right through that fucking acid without at least like losing an arm or something, right?
I would have been out like immediately when they first opened the hatch door, and they're like, "You got to crawl through that." I'm like, "No, I'm not crawling through that."
How did
All
you
right,
guys?
Good luck.
How did you guys feel? I kind of lost me at the end though with the
The human.
Prometheus
I hated it.
humanoid
I
I
creature.
didn't hate it.
Well,
Because not only did we do this in Prometheus, but we also did this in
In
Alien
Resurrection.
Resurrection.
Yeah.
And it didn't
I
work in
know.
Resurrection. And in this
well.
one, he looks like a fucking like an accountant with a fupa. He looks terrible.
What?
Like it's just a bad
He
look.
looked-
Like it looks
he-
weird, man.
He looked like what were they called? The engineers.
Engineers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I could see part of it, but like they were more like muscular and like they had like he was all skinny and sucked in, and it just
Yeah,
gave
he
it a
was
weird
Slender
look.
Man.
Yeah, Slender Man with a tail.
At least we didn't fall asleep watching it, Brian.
I mean, it was
didn't
it
like
was a good effect. The whole her giving birth and then immediately seeing it and saying, "Get it away from me," and then
I was excited. I was like, "Ooh, what's that gonna look like?" And then I saw it. I was like, "Oh."
then Slender Man.
I was like, "Not
Well,
this." I was
And
disappointed.
and she injected herself, correct?
Yes.
Yeah, with the
she
life
did.
juice.
Right
'Cause
in
she
her
was-
neck, right there.
She was
Yeah.
going off of because she wasn't there for the whole conversation. She was
Right.
just going off of it can help you heal
Right.
or it can sustain you
Yeah.
until you get help.
And that's one of the best things that we got as viewers because we know that all it took is one little drop on the tip of David's finger to fucking wreck everything. And she stuck her neck with like a whole bunch of that shit. It's
But like,
oh,
why
man.
didn't she change?
I don't know, maybe because she was
Well,
pregnant. Maybe the
Good-
I don't
question.
think she wasn't gonna change, but she ended up her child or
died
whatever it was
with
called
the-
killed her.
It was
Okay.
geared more to help you heal. It wasn't gonna make you change. Not like the stuff in Prometheus where that guy that when David put it in his drink and he drank it, he did change. But it also did something to his sperm because then when he went and smashed his girlfriend, she ended up
Yeah.
getting had that baby.
Uh,
and it
then
took it was a slow change. That was like over like a day or two. Like
Yeah,
she was
I-
only alive for another 5 minutes here.
if it's
But
Wayland, I ain't trusting it.
I had an issue because we've never really explained it, or maybe they did and I just didn't know. The cocooned one that they found in the beginning, my first off shouldn't have been in that space, the Nostromo debris. It should have been somewhere else. But I didn't make this film. That was my big issue with that scene. I was like, no, I don't know what you tell me. No, there's no way that thing could have been there. But anyway,
Is that where they pulled it from?
yeah, because remember they drove
Oh.
into all the wreckage and then they found it. It shouldn't have been there.
Not
Why not?
really.
Why
Like
not?
it didn't click until they got through it, and I'm like, wait,
Why-
how
wait,
is
wait,
this?
wait,
What are we
but-
happening here?
Why not? Lance, you're on mute while you're just
No, he's
going
talking.
on
I
and
think
on.
he's
Oh.
not talking to us.
Oh.
Thank
I
you,
mean,
Aaron.
No, because the ship blew up in one direction and the ship was going the other direction, and she blew the alien back towards where the wreckage was.
She
No,
blew
I'm
the
not
alien.
buying.
Philip,
Okay.
you hear that?
I don't care.
I'm
I'm
not
not getting hung
buying.
up on any of this. So I get it, Nez,
She
though.
was-
I get it. Like it's one of those
She
details.
was miles
that-
and miles away from that thing. And anyway, I mean, even that big of a blast should have blew pieces everywhere.
It just
They were
went
all
back
like-
into the pile, man.
They were all bunch
Well, I
right
just
there.
feel like it's a minor thing to get hung up on.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it
we're
is.
spending-
No. That goes back to the Omen, the first Omen movie. No. I don't
Well,
care
that
what-
was different. That was a continuity error on their part. This is just a placement of the alien in space.
it
And
was a-
I don't mean to detective this shit out, but like, I mean, you kind of have to expect that if you're gonna make an alien movie.
I'd
Okay,
rather
Inspector Phillips. Take
You know
us
what-
down
you know
the
what I-
rabbit hole.
What I always
Take
what
us
I
down the
always
rabbit hole.
thought
The other-
happened but never really like needed to see, but now I know it happens, and now I have a good visual is what the face huggers actually do. You know, how
It's
all
pretty
the
literal.
gory
It's pretty
details.
They
literal.
hug you. It's so loving.
Well, there was a lot of
We
vagina.
got-
Yeah,
vagina
love you.
imagery too.
Yeah,
The-
we got
the
the
other-
image of one going deep down in the throat, and then we got the other one just kind of going around the lips.
Yeah,
trying
but
to-
then that was that one that like jumped at the window and his little dick was flapping around like.
That shit was hilarious.
Yeah, I was like, ooh, they really want you. And then then they added a new element. They're like T-Rexes. As long as they make the room hot and you're quiet, we can walk past. I'm like,
Okay,
what?
well, so that's sort
They've
of
never done
well,
that
I
before,
know,
right?
but
Well,
aside from that, but that's sort of my theory of the male-female alien situation, right? Like all the big,
Okay.
all the big bad aliens are female, right? They're like all
Yes.
queens.
Yeah.
Well,
Seems
except
that
that
way.
some of them are definitely soldiers.
Like ants.
Yeah,
you
like
were saying
ants.
earlier.
These
But
aliens,
like, but
they don't
the-
have a gender. They're just aliens. They're just xenomorphs.
But
Yeah,
the
it's
male,
kinda like
but
we
the
assign
male
genders
version
to 'em,
are
right?
the face huggers who will fuck anything that
Anything.
moves. In
Sound
the mouth.
familiar?
The-
They're having sex with you. Your face.
Yeah.
because
That's what they're doing.
And,
And they're
it's
choking
over,
you while
and
they're
it's
doing it.
over when the alien says it's over, right?
Well, except for like like
Like this.
scientifically speaking, like there's no egg there, so they're obviously it
Right.
is obviously the same organism that's just growing, but
They
still,
just-
They,
Yeah,
they
it
said
just needs a
they said it
warm
was
environment.
breathing. It was like it's
Yeah.
fine with oxygen. It's breathing. I'm like,
it's
I don't
breathing.
know. That's not what it looks like.
Yeah.
I have a little dog. I know what that looks like.
All right. Hey, we got to wrap up.
Alright,
You,
hold on.
you guys,
Hold on.
anything else super important to add
Yes.
to it, Naz?
Nez
I had
has.
something else to say.
All right.
What we were told through the movies that the queens are the only ones that can lay the eggs, and I was like, all right, because they showed it in Aliens and they showed it in the first Alien versus Predator film.
Well, that
Alright.
makes sense.
This one,
Yeah.
the alien, the original xenomorph that they went out and found, it was able to lay eggs and everything because that's where they got all the face huggers from. Out
Because
of that
that's the female.
there's no gender to these things.
Yeah,
I think
what's
all
it-
of-
we assign gender
what's in
to
the
it.
eggs? The face huggers.
It's
Yeah, every-
aliens. It's a completely different thing. It's not a male, female, or whatever.
because they didn't go into it because I was sitting there thinking, I was like, wait a minute, how can this one lay eggs? That's not a queen. But if you
maybe it was a queen. It just didn't fully
Mature.
think-
form. And
All
That-
of
that
the
makes
big
sense. I
aliens
like
are
Brian's theory.
queens.
no, because if you guys remember, if you guys watched the director's cut one, the special edition of Alien, when Ripley goes down and she finds Dallas and Brett
Okay.
Cocoon, that alien, the original xenomorph, was gonna lay eggs so he can put face huggers on them. That's what it was gonna do, but they cut that scene from the original film. So this is the original Alien. That's how they got all the eggs and everything. They kind of brought it back to life, and then they were able to get eggs and everything out of it. That's why there was so many of them when they went in there and they basically unfroze them and woke them all up.
I mean, there were a lot of eggs in Aliens too, though, Nez. A lot.
Oh.
Remember?
But that original xenomorph is the one that caused it all, to have all those face huggers and all those other extra things going on that they had on that spaceship that they found. So, because I was like, wait a minute, because even one of my
Right.
friends, they can all lay eggs. I said, well, if you saw that first scene that they cut, you realize that's what they were doing. So I was like, okay, I was kind of hoping they would go into that a little more. But the movie
Right.
I want to see is how that one, when it came back to life and killed everybody on that ship. That's something I want to see because it looked like.
Well, we're gonna get something
that-
about
Yeah,
that,
we
I'm
might
sure,
get
at
it.
some
We
point.
might get it.
Plus, I want to see the battle at LV 246 or whatever that is before the Marines got there. Because if you guys remember when they rolled in there, it was all like there was a big old war.
Yeah. You could only see the aftermath of it,
From
I
the
want-
original Alien.
and only Newt was
Aliens,
still
the
there.
second one.
Oh,
Best scene of this one though was when Andy fully rebooted snatched that face hugger out of midair and
That was
smacked
awesome.
it into the
That was
wall. It's
perfect
like,
timing.
yes,
Perfect timing.
more of
The-
that.
That
Right.
was very cool the way that they did that they dealt with Andy. I like that. I saw a lot of people that were complaining that he was like, oh, what? So he's like mentally not there or whatever. And
That's what I thought at first. I thought he was like on the spectrum, like Rain Man
Well,
or something.
obviously, but he was an early model, right?
Well, he was a salvage model that her father
Right.
had repaired to be her like surrogate brother.
And so obviously he
Man.
doesn't have the memory and the RAM and all the stuff that makes it. And then he gets the upgrade, and suddenly his artificial intelligence is a little bit more intelligent. I think that makes total sense.
What a huge universe. So we got to leave it for now because this show's going super long. But Steve, how can our listeners find you guys at the Geeks, man?
Just anywhere you get your podcasts or look on YouTube, look for the Geeks. Facebook, Instagram, all that stuff. Geeks
And
with a Z.
what about those fucking wonderful toys or those T-shirts?
Oh, head
Where do
over
you
to
get all those wonderful T-shirts?
Look up SC Designs on TeePublic or Boondocks. That's my artist handle. So Boondocks with an X, and you'll find all the fun designs over there. And head over to Horror Returns TeePublic for some more of my cool stuff.
All right. And Nez, what's going on with Mac Nez, dude, these days?
We're all over the place.
San Diego Comic-Con, Fallout, right?
We just dropped our latest one with a bunch of movies. I did talk about Romulus on that. I was the only one that saw it. Theo didn't see it yet. Also for you Big Brother fans, falling down that hole. But that's what the Zixu likes, man. So
all right.
Got to do it. And I also did a ESP Rewind. We're rolling up on 50 years of the original Texas Chainsaw. So
Yes.
I kind of did a run through of that one. I was not in the right state of mind, but I did it.
That's all that matters.
Um,
The show must go on, right?
That's all we got.
All right. Well, as always, we want to thank you guys for listening to another episode of The Horror Returns. We would love to hear your feedback and ideas. Just go to www.thehorrorreturns.com and get everywhere you want from there. Next week, Philip is kind of questioning this one. Did The Crow really need to be remade? Brian, what do you think, man? Are you excited about this, or are you kind of skeptical?
Can't say I'm excited, but my mind towards movies is remake anything, because if it's bad,
Okay.
it doesn't change the original one.
That's true.
All right, fair
So
enough.
I'm
What
kind
about?
of 50-50 about this one.
Yeah, me too, man. What about you, Steve?
I will apprehensively watch it. I don't think it doesn't need to be remade, but like Brian said, if it's not going to hurt my feelings if it sucks, so I can still go back and watch Brandon Lee and glorious VHS.
I thought you were gonna say Edward Furlong.
No. That movie sucks. So you should watch it though before next week. Talk about
I'm going to.
Is
How
that-
many people knew that Edward Furlong was in a Crow movie?
It's called The Crow.
I knew.
Wicked
I saw it. Yeah, but see, the thing is, you've got Borderlands still going on. You've got the Coraline 15th anniversary. You've got what
I heard
else?
Borderlands
Nobody's
sucks.
watching Borderlands.
Oh,
And
Blink-
nobody's
Blink
going back to
twice.
watch.
Blink twice, right? Isn't
So
that,
nobody's watching Blink twice.
Nobody's
It-
watching Nobody's
I
watching
want
that.
I want to
Okay.
watch it, but I don't think it's gonna.
But wait, questions
Okay.
about
Box office,
Has
though.
anybody seen Borderlands?
No,
No.
but I want to.
I
I
don't want
want to. I do. I kind of enjoyed the.
I kind of did want to, but everybody says it sucks.
Lance, I don't believe you.
Aye.
It's an Eli Roth movie. I don't think you wanted to see it.
Yeah, but the trailer kind of got me, dude. But you've also got Strange Darling coming out Friday, and that trailer
Which
looks
is-
pretty interesting.
I know it's only got like 30 reviews, but
Right.
it's sitting at 100% right now on Rotten Tomatoes.
Hey,
Check it
we
out.
may have a very diverse School of the Week next week. It's who knows, right? The jury's out. So, all right. Thanks for listening again, and Philip. Until next week.
Good night.
All right. Yeah, we went almost 2.5 hours. That's
Yeah,
cool,
I know. I have to
guess.
cook dinner still, so I gotta.
My bad.
I gotta hit the road. But
All
hey,
right,
it was a
thanks,
blast
Steve.
tonight, fellas. Can't wait to do it next time. Ready for corn whenever you're ready for me.
All right. Take care,
Later,
guys.
guys.
Later.
Appreciate it, brother.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.